Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Tonight, we rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cheese, man, this is like the fourth, fifth time this week, or the eighth or ninth time this week I've seen you. Are you ready for this, buddy?
4,265 times this week.
It seems like it, man. Every time I'm either working, sleeping, or preparing for a podcast this week. But man, we're having a great time. Chad Ryland looks like he's about to kick off here, so the Carolina Panthers will receive the kick right away. We didn't get together and find out where we were at on the show together, since both of us are doing a watch along here. For those of you who are confused, you're like, what is going on? What are they talking about? We are doing a watch along of the Hall of Fame game from
Tell me what they're
Ohio,
showing so we can sync up.
Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. There's the kickoff.
Okay, so I'm ahead of you.
Of course you are. We can never be sunk up. I mean, there's no way. So
they're walking. The Panthers are walking down the field right now.
Yeah, they're showing Kenny Pickett right now. So yeah.
Okay, they are in mine too.
All right. Well, that's excellent. Maybe we're not that.
I'll tell you when they snap it. I'll tell you that, and we'll count.
Okay. So see, everybody else gets to be right along with us, and we're trying to figure out exactly how we're sunk up, and that way when one of us calls something on the game, we can know what's going on here. So that'll be great to do for the. Beginning of the show.
Did they snap it yet for you?
No.
Last channel. Okay. So I tried both TVs. They're the same. There's not like a difference. I was hoping one would be slower.
Okay, so there's the snap.
Okay, so it's about 10 seconds.
Okay. All right, so he completes the pass. All right, Cheese, we're going to talk a lot of subjects tonight. Obviously we're going to talk about the Carolina Panthers. We're going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. We're also going to do some people who we think should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't yet. I mean, we're going to look at – I'm even going to look at a couple of college things. We're going to talk about each one of the Hall of Famers that will go in on Saturday. We're going to talk about some extensions that were handed out. We're going to talk about some signings. Anything else we're going to talk about tonight that you're going to bring? That's the stuff that I've kind of got notes on. What does Cheese have notes on for the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk, Buccaneers.
True, I do want to do that.
Huh?
I do want to do that. Remind me to do that.
Buccaneers, but yeah, there's some teams that have really focused in on extensions, that they want to get it done before the season, and they're really trying to keep a lot of their players. Like every day, like the 2027 free agent class gets worse and worse. But it shows you it was a really good draft 3 years ago because all the people getting extended.
All right, so this is the very first game, right? Obviously, Hall of Fame game. It's 3rd and 1. Kenny Pickett is in the shotgun, and he is about to get sacked. And he just got dropped there, 95.
Is that Jake Delhomme versus Kurt Warner? Is it 2003? Okay.
It looks like it, doesn't it? That's a big man.
Both of them were in the Super Bowl when they had Kurt Warner, and then, Panthers made it with Jake Delhomme. That's the last time I think they were in.
Looks like Billing, I think is what the name was there on the. This is going to be a little difficult for us. It's hard to see, or it's not really hard to see, but it's.
But Carson Beck, do you want to talk about him a little bit?
Yes. When he gets in here, we will talk about him a little bit. I can see the kickoff. He's kind of.
He's on the screen now on my screen, but yeah.
Oh no, not yet. Well, let me get to a few of these comments over here. We've already got some people on with us. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
We love the highs and the shout outs and
yes.
The one guy that will not be on the screen tonight.
Andy. Wow, he stunk. He was so bad. And you know what's crazy is the top 3 quarterbacks before are still in the league. One just won Super Bowl: Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and Baker Mayfield. They just didn't pick very high, so they didn't get any of them.
So do you see much of a difference, Cheese, in Kenny Pickett and in Carson Beck? I mean, are both of them pretty much slotted in as backup quarterbacks, or does one of them have a chance to become the starter for one of these two teams?
Beck has a much higher ceiling.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett never had a high ceiling. I remember watching Kenny Pickett at Pitt. And I'm like, he's a career backup 4th round pick. I had a 4th round grade on him. But the Steelers just, I don't know. They're like, well, we'll just take a chance. But hey, Matt Schaub is an assistant in Arizona. I did not know that. But Beck, I could talk forever about Beck, but I'll say this. His arm strength worried me last year. Maybe it was caused by an injury. And what also worried me about him was just clutch times. He had to start throwing at the other team, like right down to the wire. But otherwise, he's been very productive. Unbelievable record in college, played for some big time programs. He does have talent. He has NFL talent. But, like I said, the 2 biggest issues for me were how poorly he paid in the clutch, and then the arm strength just was not as good in Miami as it was in Georgia, but it was probably the injury. So his arm strength needs to get back to where it was when he was at Georgia.
Okay. Now, see, this is what I like to see from the guy, right? He knows this is it might not be his one and only shot, but he knows this is at least what I'll call his initial shot, right? And so here he goes. He sees the pocket breaking down. He understands it. He goes out, he dives, and he gets the first down. This is something that we want to see out of him, especially if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, right?
Absolutely. Obviously, they're not facing probably hardly any starters on the defense, but that's okay. I mean, if he plays well, if he plays bad against backups, it's not good. But if he plays well, nothing but positive. So I didn't love the pick, but at least they used their 3rd round pick and not their 1st or 2nd. You know what I mean?
True.
I really liked their 2nd round pick, Chase Basantis. I really, really think he's got tremendous upside. I don't think maybe Spencer Fano. They're the only other lineman that moves like him in the draft. They can get to the 2nd level so quickly, but worth a shot. And we talked about this multiple times. If he plays great and he is a franchise quarterback, great. If not, they're probably not going to be good, and they're going to probably pick in the top 3, and they can draft their franchise quarterback.
Right.
Or so both.
We have both said this. They're going to win no matter what happens here, right? It's if Beck is great, they win. If Beck is not great and they realize it and they've only got Brissett on a 1-year deal, they're going to turn around and then draft their future quarterback, and he should be really good because we'll talk about this here in a little bit. The draft that's coming for quarterbacks looks to be absolutely loaded in this upcoming college football season.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to – I could just go off talking about that, but we'll do that another time. But yeah, if it doesn't work out and he's terrible, well, you only wasted a 3rd round pick. You didn't – the Steelers, Kenny Pickett, they wasted like the 20th over pick, 21st, something like that, whatever he was, and they don't, they have Jeremiah Love and Chase Basantis, so it's okay. We still have those guys. So I think it's obviously I think Jacoby Brissett will start, but at some point you need to play back at least half the year. We know their schedule's brutal. We know they're not going to make the playoffs. You need to go to him at some point and see what you got. And like I said, if he plays great and you think he's the guy, perfect. And even if you're bad, then you win 3 games, but he shows enough that you think he's your quarterback, you can trade out and get a ton of draft capital for a top 3 pick in this draft because it's so quarterback heavy.
Yes, absolutely. So again, I don't see any scenario really where the Cardinals lose. but I also don't see any scenario where they win much of anything this year because of it. So it's kind of a, you got to sacrifice a year in order to get better down the road.
I'm curious, what do you think their defense points against will be against the 6 games in the division, the 2 Seahawks games, the 2 Rams, and the 2 49er games? How many points per game do you think this Arizona Cardinal defense will give up in those games on average?
Can I say it depends on if Josh Sweat plays or not?
Yeah,
or
no kidding.
or if he gets traded, which so my schedule. It's pretty hectic. I came home last night, actually early this morning, and did some research for this. About 4 hours of sleep. Get back up. We'll do this podcast, and I'm going to work again tonight, and then staying there tomorrow morning for a 16-hour shift. And so it was. I had some limited time to do some things, but now there's some talk. I mean, you've got the team saying, "Oh, well, Josh Sweat's going to be there. Don't worry about it. He'll be there opening day. This is a non-issue." And then you've got some other people going, "No, I think this is a little bit bigger issue than what the Cardinals are letting on." And there's even some little rumblings now of, I think he does want traded, or, he's not going to come out and say it because he's not that guy, but he's talked to his agent, and his agent's talking to some people. And what do you think ultimately will happen with Josh Sweat and the Arizona Cardinals, Chiefs?
Well, as far as what he might demand, like you said, he's not going to do that. But he's in his prime, coming off an amazing year. He is right in his prime, and he came from a winning organization. He wants to keep winning, and he doesn't. They're not going to be good this year. They might not be good next year, and he doesn't want to. He's like 29, 30 next couple of years, so he doesn't want to waste those years.
And I don't blame him for that.
I don't either. I mean, he signed with them. They gave him a lot of money, but we thought they'd be better last year. We did. And he did as well, or he wouldn't have signed there. So he wants to win. And they say they're not trading him, but I think it's one of those situations. God,
safety?
Big 90. Look at 95. Of Billings. I was like, oh my God. It's like, that's
he is
Walter
a
Nolan.
huge
like,
man.
Walter Nolan's not that big. Yes, he is. And he just completely double teamed and blew up the play.
He got the sack earlier too, so he's showing out tonight. Look at this.
Yeah. Josh Sweat. So Arizona Saints are not trading him, but a lot of teams do this in any sport right before they trade him sometimes. They're saying it because they want leverage, right? The Browns were never going to trade Myles Garrett. We're not trading him. Oh, the Rams are going to offer us this. Okay, here you go. So I think they would trade him, but they want to get blown away. Like, for example, there was a rumor that the Packers were trying to trade for him, that they had discussions. The guy that reported it is usually really accurate. He had Packers training for Micah Parsons the day before. He said they were in talks. But if the Packers offered, say, a 3rd-round pick and Lucas Van Ness, that's not going to get it done. You know what I mean? The Cardinals would be like, okay, and what else? Like, what other picks are you going to send us, or what other player? So I think they want to get blown away. They know they have a guy that had double-digit sacks last year, that 2 sacks in the Super Bowl the year before for the Eagles. Everyone needs pass rush. They know they have a lot of leverage there. So I think they train him, but they have to be blown away.
So do you think they want to be blown away by draft picks or players?
Either.
Or a combination?
I think draft picks is probably ideal, because then you can pick but either one. They just want to come off the big time winners of the deal. The Browns did not trade Myles Garrett till they got a package that even you and me say we can't believe we're saying this, but the Browns may have gotten the better end of the deal. That's what the Cardinals want. So they're going to want to get blown away by this deal, because they do have a very good edge rusher in Josh Sweat.
Yes, but it's a different time in the season. I don't think this late in the season they're going to get blown away by a deal like that, right?
Probably not, unless there's some injury to a team that's Super Bowl or bust, and someone like that. You also have to fit his contract in the cap. I don't think it should be too difficult to fit. It's not like he makes $30 million a year or something like that. But I think they're handling it well. They're not going to trade him just to trade him. That makes no sense. They signed him for a reason. And if you don't get the offer you want, just hang on to him.
Right. So pass interference on Clark here, number 13, cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals. I know I don't know how much we're really going to call out people's names and numbers and stuff tonight, because what's the percentage, do you think, the people that we're going to see in this game, even right now, second series in the game, what are these? These are practice squad guys at best, pretty much, right?
No, I mean, no. Some of these are there are a few starters out there, especially young starters that want reps. A lot of key backups, like Brady Christensen's probably their sixth offensive lineman for the Panthers. He's in there,
Okay.
right? He can play tackle or guard. So you're going to have guys that make the team on here, especially in the first half. Second half, you're going to have most of those are guys competing for the last 2 or 3 spots on the roster. A lot of practice squad type guys, yes.
Okay.
But Travis Etienne, okay, that's Etienne's brothers in there for the Panthers, but he's probably their number 3 running back. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, you got Bam Knight for the. I mean, I know a lot more about the Cardinals. I'm gonna kind of bank on you to know more about the Panthers. I mean, Bam Knight was in there. He's their he's their number 3 quarterback. He might be their number 4 quarterback behind Trey Benson as well. But
right now he's 4 on the depth chart. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and that was the guy who was in there for the first series. So I want to, we've kind of gone past this a little bit, but we've seen some things here so far, Cheese. So the Arizona Cardinals kicking team was able to get it down within the 5-yard line. It looked like they were going to stop them on the first series there, but they ended up getting that penalty, and now the ball has come out. So is there other things that can shine in this game besides just, a couple of quarterbacks and a couple of receivers and maybe a few? I mean, can you shine on special teams and stuff in this game as well?
Oh, absolutely. Special teams is probably even more important in the preseason, because that's how a lot of guys make the team. There are veteran teams, like I'll just say like the Philadelphia Eagles is a good example. Barring injuries, but 48 of their 53 is decided. If you look at their roster, the last 5 is probably made on special teams, like the fifth or sixth, like the 6th receiver, the 5th linebacker, all that stuff. And the way you make the team is special teams. So especially if you're a gunner, if you can make it, you need like 2 gunners on special teams. If you're good at a gunner, you're going to make the team. They'll find a spot for you. Your safety, corner, tight end, whatever. Well, not tight end, gunner, wide receiver, running back, corner, or safety. Those usually are the gunners.
All right. So help us stupid people out who are, like myself, who's more of a baseball guy than a football guy. So help us out here. Oh, nice job by the Panthers. A guy let it go, and now they're down within they've got it down within the 5-yard line here.
And I'm not sure who that guy is, but if he's fighting for a roster spot, that play is huge. Special teams coach will go to bat for, I want this guy on the team if he's going to make a play like that to, keep it out of the end zone.
Yeah, and in this kind of a game, don't you? I mean, you almost want to take chances, right? Even if you failed taking a chance, at least you took a chance and you're trying to do something instead of just standing there and going, we'll let that ball go into the end zone for the touchback, and then it blows up on you. That's kind of the worst case scenario for him, right?
Yes. Yeah. There are people that have had good preseasons that have not made the team in the practice squad because they don't have a role in special teams. So even though they're better, like wide receivers that are better, they put up all this production in the preseason, and the guy that has like 2 catches for 21 yards makes it. It's like, well, look at the special teams film. This guy's amazing at covering kicks. So that's why he's on it. So
okay,
yeah,
I got you. So again, I was getting ready to say it before the play happened in front of me here, where they got it down within the 5-yard line. Tell us again, the guys like me who don't know all these terms that you're probably going to use tonight, and I'm trying to learn right along with you. Give me the definition. What do you mean by a gunner on special teams?
Yeah, so the gunner on special teams is basically the guy on the outside. He's not on the line of scrimmage, and he's going to run down. He'll get there first, and his job is to either make the play or keep him to one side or the other. Don't let him get outside of you, basically. He's most of the time, actually, they're not the one that makes the tackle, but, for example, if you, depending on what the special teams formation is, but you want to keep a guy like, okay, let's force him to the sideline. Let's force him to the other side of the field. So you're the initial guy. You got to be good enough to get off the block, because they're going to put a guy in front of you, and you have to be fast, and you have to get down there quickly. And Also, if it's a punt inside the 20, he let go, you got to get down there and prevent that ball from getting in the end zone. And if you're good at that, you will be in the NFL for 10 or 12 years, no problem.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for the education there for the people who aren't as smart as you are. Myself included. There, we got another hi. Hello, Party Hips. Wow. Okay then.
Party Hips 124. What's up?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of party you're having with your hips, and I'm not sure if I want you to tell me because it's a family show. But okay.
I was looking at some people talking about it. Clicked on the hashtag Hall of Fame game, and all these people are saying, "Oh, I don't know who anyone is playing. I'm going to watch anyway." Or like, "I don't care about the Cardinals or Panthers, but I can't wait to. I'm just going to watch football." So, some people are watching just because it's football.
Just because it's football, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who are watching with us, we certainly appreciate it. It's a Thursday night. There's probably a ton of people at work who can't see the game, and so maybe they're on with us here either on our X account, which is All Gloves Off SM for myself. Cheese, what's your X account, buddy?
It's Football Cheese. Oh, let's see it there. Football Cheese on X.
Oh, there we go.
Easy. And the channel on YouTube is Football with Cheese. X won't let you have the long handle. They won't let you have it.
Nope, they will not. But
we have to shorten it.
It's okay. It's all right. We can certainly take care of that. So, our numbers are jumping around all over the place. I guess it depends on who wants to watch where and everything else. So we are right here with you until the long haul. We're going to stay until the very end of the game. And we're going to talk a lot about the game, at least in the first half. Now, once it gets to the second half and half the people that are on the field, neither one of us know, then, we'll get into some of these other NFL topics that we outlined in the beginning of the show. But right now, we're going to talk about each team. It should be interesting. Carolina, of course, in their division. Arizona in their division. Arizona has the much tougher division, but I think Carolina will be
much tougher.
Much tougher division, right? Let's not gloss over that, right? Much tougher
the top
division.
3 teams in the NFC West are better than anyone in the NFC South, in my opinion.
Okay, that was kind of where I was going to go, so I'm glad you brought it up. So, yes, they're but aren't they kind of in the same boat a little bit? I mean, the Carolina Panthers are a little ahead of them as far as growth and development and stuff like that. They've got a more established quarterback. What else do you think Carolina has that's more established than Arizona going forward in this season?
In a second, but watch this play. That's a heck of a throw. That is a heck of a throw.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Good move by Brooks. Perfect throw.
And, of course, Larry Fitzgerald approves on the sideline.
So the thing with Carolina is I really like their offseason. I like their free agency. I like getting Monroe Freeling and Lee Hunter. Chris Brazel, their 3rd-round pick is out for the year. He's already injured. Really talented receiver from Tennessee. Real tall, lanky receiver. And Nick Scourton, the 2nd-round pick, edge rusher last year, is also out for the year. So that's really hurting their depth at those positions. The problem Carolina's going to have is they went 8-9 last year, but they're going to play a first-place schedule because they won the division on a tiebreak, a 3-way tiebreak. So their schedule, like compared to like the Saints, is so much tougher. So I think the Panthers will be better, but they might not win the division just because their schedule's tougher than the other guys. So I definitely think they have a better roster, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tennessee more here in a little bit, too. I want to bring up the Arian Carter thing and talk to you about that. I'm sure you have an opinion on it as well. So we'll talk about that before it's all said and done. There's a handoff to Bam Knight. He gets the first down for the Arizona Cardinals.
Jalen Brooks was the receiver there that caught that ball. Great double move there, or stutter step, I guess is what you called it.
Yeah, we're going to see some plays, right? We're going to see some players because, as you said, especially in the first quarter, there's a lot of these guys who are trying to make backup roles. There's a lot of these guys who are trying to at least be considered. Because what happens after this game, Cheese? I mean, do you really do you really have a list of players on, the coaches and the staff have a list of players and they're like, nope, this guy didn't perform well, so we're going to take this guy's name off, and nope, this guy didn't do well, so when this guy did, so let's raise him up a few notches on the chart. I mean, what really happens at the end of this game?
So I think every team's different.
Okay.
I think some teams, they will get together. The coaches will all get together. Who do you like? And then they email the front office or they meet with them separately. Maybe they get together. But I think like some guys just are terrible the first preseason game and still make the team. Like they improve throughout the camp. Like,
okay, so I'm sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I'm going to for a second because look at this throw. So this is a different type of throw, right? But you want to see the quarterback make all these throws. There's an absolute rocket over the middle of the field, right on the guy's shoulder.
Oh, Basantis
and then
is in
he
there, by the
does the touch pass earlier. This is what you want to see from Carson Beck, right?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm encouraged. By the way, Basantis number 57 is in there. I'm kind of trying to watch the offensive line.
Okay.
Josh Fryer's having good games. 78, former Buckeye. He looks like he's moving some people. So I tell you what's encouraging about Mike LaFleur. I've seen a lot of play action so far. We didn't see enough of that last year with Arizona. Maybe because they're behind a lot, but there just wasn't enough play action, and you need that in the NFL. It's a lot of teams get a lot of their big plays on play action. I tell you what, Carson Beck looks. Josh Rosen looks real comfortable. He looks very comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't look like skittish at all.
That guy? Yeah. Okay.
He looks very calm, poised, and confident in the pocket.
So I want to talk about what you just said for a moment. I'm reading a bunch of stuff. I'm starting to get into the NFL a little bit more. I was waiting till kind of after the trade deadline in Major League Baseball to really, I don't want to say focus on the NFL, but to start looking and putting that into my daily repertoire to where I look at some articles on the NFL. One of the things I saw is that a lot of people think Denver is going to be improved a lot because now they have a play caller that's not Sean Payton. They didn't have a lot of motion, as you were just talking about. A lot of teams get their stuff off of motion, but they didn't have a lot because Sean Payton waited so long to call the play. And then by the time the play got called and then the huddle went and then they go up to the line of scrimmage and all of this, there's no time to do any kind of motion. You just have to run the play. Is there really something to that, Cheese, as far as that part goes? And do you think Denver will be better because of it?
The more motion, the more chaos. You have to be on the same page. It helps when you have, like Buffalo does a ton of it, but their offensive line had been together for years last year. You have to be on the same page, but it creates chaos. It creates the defense has to, adjust to it. They have to point, okay, this guy runs the motion. You get this guy, you get that guy. Okay. Pre-snap motion is really important. Play actions. If you do not excel at play, if you're not doing play action passes, then you're not keeping the defense honest. It's easier to scheme against. You got to do that. We've seen a lot of it already in this game from LaFleur, and that's good. We know he's going to commit to the run. You don't use the third overall pick on a running back if you're not going to run the ball and commit to that. So,
well, yeah, but they've got James Conner. We'll talk about him in a little bit, but we'll have a list. I am impressed with this. That's another good throw. I know he didn't make it into the end zone. I'm gonna watch this throw on replay here. I'm sure they're going to show it to us here as they completed the pass to Kiner.
Extremely accurate, right where it needed to be.
I was going to ask, is that where that throw needed to be? Because partially that throw kept him from going into the end zone, but that's what you want is that low throw right there where he can at least catch it and get to the 1 yard line, right?
It either needs to be complete or it needs to be to your guy or incomplete. It can't be intercepted. So you have to throw it low. If it goes incomplete, so what? But you cannot throw that high over the middle. You can't throw the ball high over the middle anyway, but there's some quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts refuse to throw across the middle. AJ Brown just lost it. Like we get so frustrated when he gets open in the middle because it leads to more interceptions. If you throw outside the numbers, way fewer interceptions. But if you do throw over the middle, you just gotta either throw it low or incomplete low or to your guy. You can't miss high. So that was a really accurate pass there.
And when you say outside the numbers, you don't mean on the football field. What you're talking about outside the numbers is outside the numbers on the uniform of the receiver, right?
Well,
You
just
throw it
outside
to his numbers.
the hash marks, outside, like outside receivers. You know.
Oh, okay, so you are referring to the numbers on the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah. Basically, it's just if you look at the number of throws across the middle, like 3 times more likely to be intercepted because it goes high, gets tipped more, could be tipped at the line of scrimmage more. So a lot of quarterbacks just do not like to throw across the middle. And then you got some that love to throw across. Trevor Lawrence, he loves throwing across the middle, you know. But even Peyton Manning hardly did it. To be honest with you, he didn't throw across the middle. He loved it was outside to Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. That's what he wanted to do. And then if that wasn't there, he'd check it down to Dallas Clark. That was Peyton Manning. But he was so good at it, it worked. It absolutely worked.
And you mentioned Reggie Wayne. That might be on one of our lists here in just a little bit. We're going to talk about people who should be in the NFL Hall of Fame, and we'll do some of those things more into halftime and into the second half. But we're going to talk about the 2 teams that are in this right now, and then we'll at least kind of sort of halfway call the game, and we'll go from there. So that way, everybody that's listening to us, especially if you're at work, yeah, we should look into that. Wednesday, September 9th. Maybe we'll do that game. It's another game to where a lot of people are probably going to be at work on a Wednesday, and I think those games work really well for us to do some things on. So you never know. We might try to do that game as well. We got 5 guys that are going into the Hall of Fame. We'll talk about all 5 of those, and then again we'll do a little bit between the 2 of us of some names that we think should be in the Hall of Fame, but are not yet into it. Let's tease it a little bit, Cheese. I think the Baseball Hall of Fame is really prestigious. I mean, it's really hard to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Do you think it's as hard to get into the Football Hall of Fame, or do you think it's a little more lax?
A little more lax. It's a little more lax because of like injuries and longevity is harder, so they let people in. Baseball, you have to play it long enough and put up certain numbers. You're not sniffing it. So I think it's much easier to get in the NFL Hall of Fame than baseball. Absolutely.
Okay. So Kiner just scores on a 1-yard run. They went 13 plays and 96 yards, a little over 7 minutes to do that. This is the guy who just caught the pass right before we went to break and came back. Is this one of those things, Cheese, you think they're rewarding that guy who caught that pass and all of that? Or is that just this is the play call, this is what we're going with, and things like that?
Probably just that this is the play call. I think that's just the play call.
All right, here we go with the snap for the extra point. And it is good. So 14:55 in the second quarter, just 5 seconds in. Arizona is up 7-0. Is this a big deal that Carolina gave this up this early? I mean, what can we take away from Arizona scoring the first touchdown in this game and looking, I don't want to say dominant, but looking pretty good going down the field doing it, Chiefs?
It just says that, they're moving the ball. They're running the ball. Carson Beck looks very in control. He's just looks very poised in the pocket, and they just went right down the field. They just look good. They're up front. They're run blocking really well. Like I said, Josh Fryer, Chase Basantis got a good block in there too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
His strength though is moving. He can pull. He's so athletic. But he's going to be the starting right guard this year. So, and then they needed to upgrade guard big time. It was so bad last year.
So it's not like the Cardinals are terrible. They've got some players at some positions, right? They're building it at least in the right way, correct?
I mean, they got Walter Nolan, Will Johnson in the draft last year. Got probably 2 of the best 20 prospects. So, they were both kind of hurt. So yeah, they have pieces. Defense still needs a lot of help, especially at corner. The defense needs a lot of help still to be a good defense. But they went all big offense in the draft early on, and I understand why.
So do you like it when a team goes one side or the other heavy in the draft, or do you like it better, you think, when they go a little bit of each, or is it just the development as to where that team is? How does that work as far as who you're picking in the draft for this upcoming season?
Well, for the most part, what you want is to have your franchise quarterback in place, and you can just take the best player on the board regardless, right? Whether it's defense, offense. I mean, there are years where your offense is maybe better than your defense, but if it's the best player, you take the offensive player. But if you don't have like if you have a young quarterback that you don't know the franchise quarterback, you have to put talent around him. You cannot have a um, David Carr situation in Houston. They didn't give him an offensive line, and he kept getting hurt, and he never developed. Yeah, Tim Couch never had much help in Cleveland. You have to put them in a position to succeed. So you have to go heavy offense. If you have a young quarterback, plan on drafting a young quarterback, you have to have really you want the offensive line and the receivers running back in place by the time you get them.
Okay.
So that's the only exception. Otherwise, you try to take the best player, but you can't draft a young quarterback and just keep drafting defensive players and he has no offensive line and no receivers. You can't do that to him.
All right. So we've got some notes on the 5 guys that are going into the NFL Hall of Fame this year. We'll talk about that. We'll have some time during the halftime here. We'll look at all 5 of those guys. The Carolina Panthers are now on their 3rd series of the game. They have yet to score. This is 1st and 10 on their own. Looks around the 33 or so yard line.
Yeah, they're talking with Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm. And I know he's really important. Now there's his son. They're showing on the screen as well. So Balin is his son's name.
So ATN is still in there for the Panthers running back.
Okay. So then if ATN is still in there, what are they trying to see from him? Has he not had enough plays? Is he like the only is he their backup and they know it and they're gonna put him in there for the entire first half, or what are we doing here with
he's the third string running back. They're not going to play Jonathan Brooks. They're not going to play Chuba Hubbard. They might not play at all. I mean, maybe a handful of snaps all preseason. That's just the way it works. And if they do, it'll be game 2. Okay, we got something going here for Carolina on this play. We're seeing a lot of motion, a lot of play action, a lot of quick throws. That's what they're doing this preseason. They want to. That's what these teams are calling. Pretty basic plays. They're not going to show their whole playbook.
Wow.
But yeah, you're going to get a lot of 3rd string, 4th string running backs in the preseason.
So something like that play that just happened where he throws it out in the flat and on the TV screen, you don't see a single Arizona Cardinal in sight. That's not necessarily Carolina calling a great play. That's probably Arizona missing an assignment somewhere, right?
Yes. And it was an awful play action. So someone probably bit. I had to rewatch the play, but somebody probably bit on that, which could get you cut.
Yeah. Again, that's one of those things, right?
Got to stay disciplined. You got to, like you said, you missed an assignment. Everyone has an assignment on the defensive side.
Okay. And this is, that's what they're looking at just as well as anything else. Geez, I'm curious about this. Are you going to go back and rewatch this game? I mean, are you that football thirsty to where no, he's shaking his head no. He's like, I'm not that bad off, man. Stop it.
I have rewatched maybe 2 or 3 preseason games ever, and it's my Green Bay Packers. And that's just because I recorded on NFL Network, and it went so well, and some of the young players, and this has been years. We're talking like probably at least 8, maybe 10 years ago. And I just wanted to watch it again or watch that quarter again. But no, preseason, no, definitely not. And even back then, starters would play more. Nowadays, it's no one. A lot of the best quarterbacks in the league, they're not even going to play one snap. A lot of them in the entire preseason.
So then, do we really need 3 preseason football games? Should we play patty cake here? Should we do flag football? I mean, what are these games really good for, Cheese?
I think you need at least 2. It's filling out the roster and it's getting reps. Some of these young guys need reps, and you need to be able to decide, besides practice, who's making the team. So I think you need at least 2. I think eventually you're going to go to 18-game schedule and then just 2. But I would not like it if they got rid of it all. But I think you need at least 2.
So even a game like this, when this game doesn't matter, and this is still a little more of a pressure cooker than what practice is, yes?
Absolutely. I mean, this practice, a lot of times sometimes you're on pads. It's just hard to simulate. You're not going to play in pads against your team in scrimmage. You just keep hitting each other. You got to be hit some. You got to be able to play against an opponent. So it's just not quite the same in any sport. Like, any sport you've played or practiced, there's a huge difference. I'm sure you played baseball growing up. I mean, it's nothing like the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, same with football, like running the plays, getting hit, not knowing what your opponent's going to do.
Right now, I think at least
A
for
lot of
me,
checkdowns, a lot of checkdowns in this game.
yeah. So the Keys is doing pretty well actually on the
Oh,
corner for.
interesting. AJ Dillon is on the Panthers. I did not know he signed there. A former Green Bay Packer and Philadelphia Eagle. I had no idea he's still in the league. He's just not very good. He's a second round bust of the Green Bay Packers. And when they took him, Aaron Jones is in prime. It made no sense to draft him. None.
He makes a pretty good play there. Again, he just found the soft spot in the coverage, right? That's all he does.
I mean,
Comes out, makes a move, makes himself available, turns himself around. Okay, Chiefs. So little things like that, right? You can go out there and you can find a soft spot in the zone, but then he turns. I watched it back on the replay here. Then he turns and quote unquote makes himself available to the quarterback by turning around and putting his shoulder pads square to him. How important are little things like that when the coaching staff and stuff is rewatching a game like this?
If you want to know how important it is, watch Travis Kelce film. That guy, his interviews, you can tell his IQ is like 60. But in the field, he knows where to turn around. He will watch the safeties and the linebackers, and he knows when to turn around, stop. He has unbelievable timing with Mahomes. It's incredible. It's so important. Turning at the right time, helping your quarterback out. Maybe he'll recognize a blitz, and then this play could be like 10 yards, come back, and he'll stop after 3 yards and turn around. I was like, okay, Mahomes might be in trouble. Like, he just has those instincts. It's pretty incredible. It's one of the reasons why he's so good. But if you don't want him taking your calculus test for you. No, but
AJ Dillon AJ Dillon just scored.
He's a 6-year veteran, so he knows how to do little things like that. He's just not a very good player. And when he was with Green Bay, I always criticized. I didn't like the draft pick. He's a 240, 250-pound running back that runs like he's 205 pounds. That's what frustrated me the most with him. Is he wasn't like, I know he got a goal line touchdown there against backups, but he never was a great 3rd and 1 goal line type back, and he should have been. He just isn't. He's more of a finesse runner at 345 pounds or 245. Excuse me.
So why is that bad though? As long as he does. Okay, so what's the difference in the finesse runner at 245 and the finesse runner at 205?
Because he's 200. They drafted him to be the goal line back. They have Aaron Jones. Because he's not as quick as a 205 pounder. Like, he's not as quick as Aaron Jones. He can't run routes like him. They wanted a goal line type back. It was an issue for Green Bay. They didn't have that kind of guy, and that's what they drafted. But they used a 2nd round pick on him. It made absolutely no sense at the time whatsoever. Luckily, they got Jordan Love in that draft. Otherwise, it's garbage. No one in that draft class was good at all, but they got Jordan Love. So,
okay. So they redeemed themselves, right?
Well, that worked out. And you know what? I liked the pick at the time. I really did. Everyone at work the next day was giving me so much crap. They're like, "It's the dumbest pick." So many Packer fans were mad. And it's like, well, just like watch him at Utah State. This dude can make every throw. This guy could sing. Just don't freak out. This guy's good. But no one watched Utah State. They don't know. They didn't know.
Right, and the rest is cheese history, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Carolina did score 67 yards, right under 4 minutes. It took them to do that. Pretty impressive, Cheese. Did they make adjustments, or is this just better play calling? I mean, what do you think happened between point A and point B there?
They ran the ball, and he took the check down, and it was there. Arizona's playing a very basic defense preseason. You're going to do that, especially the first game. But there was one big play, that play action where no one covered that receiver on the underneath route. I mean, that was 30 yards at least. That was the big play that flipped the field. So, but other than that, it was just really efficient. That's what Kenny Pickett is. He's not going to make big plays on field, but he can be efficient. He can be a decent backup.
Okay, sounds good. So we're into the second quarter now, tied at 7. I think both quarterbacks have looked pretty good. Kenny Pickett doesn't have the yardage, I don't think, that Carson Beck does. Kenny Pickett is probably around 60 or so yards, but he's, I believe, like 11 for 12 or something like that. So like you said, efficient, maybe not going to get you 300 or 400 yards, but he's not going to make the mistake that's going to cost you the game, right?
Exactly. Preseason, you're not going to see a lot of real complex offensive defenses. They're especially young quarterbacks like Beck. They're going to say, if you don't have it, just check it down. Don't stay in the pocket more than like 4 seconds. It's going to be in defenses. They're not going to blitz a lot. It's not. They're not, and especially in offense, they're not going to show you the whole playbook. They're going to show a lot of basic stuff, especially the first preseason game.
Okay, so I mean that's kind of what they want to do, though. They don't want to show everybody. You don't want to have tape on the guys from preseason, right?
Right, but at the same time, I would like to see Carson Beck run the whole offense. Carson Beck, they will in the practice, but we're not going to see that. I want him to make the 25-yard out route, rollout, down the field, chuck it down the field. We're not going to see that. And as I say that, they just ran a big line route.
So you're way ahead of me now. So.
Oh, and that's such a good play.
Okay, well now I'm going to stare at the screen for a second and figure out what's going on here. Wow, Carson Beck chucking it down the field, all the way down to the 18-yard line. And he took a heck of a hit.
Jalen Brooks is having a game. That's the second big play he's made. Is he making the team?
I think he's going to take Marvin Harrison Jr.'s spot. He's got to show something.
It was just another good move. Like he burned the corner both times. Stutter step last time, but that might have been a wheel route.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to watch it again here.
He takes actually. You could have called the hit there at the end. You could have called that. He looked like he pushed him in the head. And Bam Knight is still in there at running back. Frier's still in there. Josh Fryer.
Yeah, he did kind of lead with his head as far as the tackle on Brooks. He's got three receptions so far in this game for 99 yards. And we're 10 minutes and 15 seconds into the second quarter. Well, not into the second quarter. We're at 10-10 of the second quarter. I should have said it that way.
But I love that play call. Let's open it up. Let's see what he can do.
Well, yeah, because you're challenging the receiver there, right? You're saying, okay, just run. Get yourself open, but we want it 60 yards down the field. You're challenging your quarterback right there, like, okay, this is where we're going. Now, what happens if that play doesn't work and then you've got to do something different?
I'm really impressed with Carson Beck on there. Pressure right in his face. He could have tried to make a play. Nope, he threw it in the ground. No chance to be intercepted.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
Huh. I remember somebody saying, a few weeks ago, probably a couple months ago now, that Carson Beck would be the starting quarterback for the Cardinals. I mean, I don't want to, it's like 4 series, so I don't want to get all giddy on it yet, but I would give Carson Beck a pretty good grade here so far, right? 9 of 11 so far.
Yeah. I mean, the 2 big plays, he made the throws. It was put it right there. The ball placement's been outstanding. This has never been his issue, though. Like, running an offense has never been his issue. Putting up good numbers never been his issue. His issue has always been when the game's on the line, in the fourth quarter, he starts all of a sudden throwing to the other team. That's been his issue. And then, like I said, at Miami last year, his arm strength seemed to get worse. But that's his issue. You can tell he knows how to run an offense. He's 37-6 in college. He's been a starter at Georgia, Miami. He's 43 starts in college. So it's not it's not too surprising he's playing this well. Basanta's still in there at right guard. Yep.
Well, this is
what do you see this throw? What do you see this throw? It's outstanding.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm behind you here. We're at 3rd and 4 on the 6-yard line.
When anyone asks what ball placement means, this is ball placement. This is perfect ball placement.
So Carson Beck is making all the throws, Cheese. I mean, again, I don't want to get too giddy on this yet, but
I've watched
a
lot. Yeah.
Right in there. Drop that thing, as they say, dropped it right in the bucket. But again, that is a pass to where only the receiver can catch that ball. The corner really has no chance of intercepting that pass whatsoever. So
he put it in the perfect spot.
Yeah, they went 60 yards in 4 plays in just over a minute to score this.
That's what I want to see though in this preseason. I want to see high scoring. I want to see plays like that. I want to see, I don't want to see all dink and dunks the whole time. Early on, that's kind of what it was. But I really like the play calling there on that drive.
I'm a little impressed. I mean, this is the Carolina Panthers and it's preseason. But I think for Cardinals fans who are going to come into this season with very low expectations, does a good preseason game increase those expectations at all?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, he's not going against there's probably 0 starters, maybe 1 or 2 for the Panthers in there on defense. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, he's not playing bad. He's playing great. He's playing really good. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you expect him to play well, but he's been better than well. So yeah, it's definitely encouraging. It'd be really concerning if he was playing bad, because it is a bunch of backups. But yeah,
but I also think he's throwing to a bunch of backups, right? He's got a bunch of backups in front of him on the line and stuff like that. So it's not like the Cardinals have all their starters out there and the Panthers are playing with their third strings. I mean, they're all backups basically.
Yeah, the guy who caught that touchdown, I had never heard of him. His name is Simi Fukoko, maybe?
Sure.
He went to Stanford. He's a 6-year pro. Played for the Cowboys, Steelers, Chargers, now Cardinals. 6'4", 225. Good size. Obviously, that's the person you want to throw in the red zone, 6'4", 225. Mm-hmm. But I'd never heard of him. So.
And if you've never heard of him before, and he's been in the league for 6 years.
Don't exactly watch a lot of Stanford film.
Well, but still, that. So I think every once in a while, some of these teams that are the bottom part of the league, they have the ability to grab some players off of other teams, right? So I know how that works as far as Major League Baseball, because I'm the baseball guy. You're really far down there, and when people become available, they start with the 32nd team and then the 31st team and the 30th team and all of that. Is that the same way it works in football as far as that part goes? When someone's available, that's how they pick the people off of, when they cut them or release them or whatever? How does that work?
If you're under 4 years, you're susceptible to waivers if anyone cuts you.
Okay.
The worst team. So yeah. So the Raiders have, if somebody is released less than 4 years, Raiders will have the first waiver, the first waiver of anyone. Mm-hmm. If they're been in the league more than 4 years, they're considered a veteran. They're immediately a free agent and sign with anybody. So
okay.
The players really want to get that in the thing, because then if a player's been in the league 12 years for his team and they cut him for salary cap reasons, they don't want him to get claimed by the Browns. And then he's stuck playing in Cleveland, and he wants to win a Super Bowl, and he's stuck in Cleveland. What?
I said nobody wants to get claimed by the Browns. I mean,
well, you understand what I'm saying? Though it's like, So, if they've been in the league more than 4 years, then they immediately become a free agent, can sign with whoever they want. Haynes King is in there, Georgia Tech quarterback. He's very mobile. He's very mobile quarterback, really good athlete.
So when was he drafted? Do you know?
I don't think he was. If he was, it was very late, but I don't think he was.
Okay.
I think he was signed. He was signed undrafted. He's one of those guys that, maybe 10% chance he gets drafted, probably undrafted. But half the league probably called him trying to sign him because he is athletic. Just up and down as a passer at Georgia Tech. But he did have his best year by far this past year. And there's even talk for a while that he could, maybe be a Heisman finalist, but, they started playing better teams. But Georgia Tech's got they're playing Georgia and Tennessee this year, non-conference. So, we'll see what happens there.
Okay. Let's get into our first kind of off the game topic here for a moment. Let's, again, I know you're a big Tennessee guy, but you've mentioned Tennessee there. Let's talk about, I believe it's Arian Carter is how you say his first name?
Arian, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been suspended for the first 2 games. I'm sure you know this story. Yes. Carter was going to try to go possibly into the 2025 draft. He accepted a plane ticket to go fly down to meet with a team. I don't think we've ever heard what team it is or anything like that, but he accepted that. Mm-hmm. He wasn't necessarily supposed to, but maybe you could help me with the rules a little bit here, because he was trying to go to the NFL. I think there's a little bit of a rule thing in there that says that he could have, but then he claimed it. He said, "Hey, I took this ticket. I didn't pay for it. I want to admit to it, and I'm going to pay it back." So
He did pay it back.
he did pay it
He did
back.
pay it back. He's already paid it back. Yes.
Right. So, Cheese, what else can the kid do in that situation, right? He was thinking about going to the NFL. I mean, I guess he could not accept it in the very beginning, and that's what they're saying, right? But how do you feel about this and this rule?
Well, they don't need him against Furman, so I'll say that. But
Okay.
they are playing Georgia Tech, who I just mentioned, week 2, and they could
Mm-hmm.
lose that game. I don't think they will, but they could. So I just want to put that those are the 2 games. If it was one game, then they couldn't do one game because it's Furman, you know. But basically, it was a $427 flight, but it was from an agent. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm
The
sorry.
fact that it's from an agent is the issue. That is why. But Josh Heupel, the head coach of Tennessee, he's pissed. He's livid. He made it be known.
Yeah, I
I
saw
would be
it.
livid too. Paid it back. The problem is it's from an agent, and if they don't suspend him, then maybe they pay for your whole vacation in the offseason. They pay for this. No, look, they didn't suspend him for that. And you can't suspend him one game because it's Furman. So I'm not happy with it. I don't like it, but I understand it, and I understand Josh Heupel being pissed. And if I cheer for the Vols. They're my favorite college team. I'm not happy at all. If they lose Georgia Tech, I'm gonna be pissed. But I get it.
So who will you be pissed at? That's the question. Will you be upset at the
situation.
player? Will you be upset at the rule? Will you be upset at the team for allowing him to do it?
Well, he injured himself and decided to pull from the draft. Okay, he decided to have surgery, knowing it would probably tank his draft stock. So he decided to come back, and then he
Okay.
parted ways with the agent. But the agent had already paid for the flight, so that's the whole story. So
So then it was his agent that paid for the flight, not like an
Right.
agent for somebody else.
right.
Okay.
So at least he's not ineligible. I'll say that. At least he's not ineligible. In the past, that might have been. Uh, Happy to have him back. It's tough. There's so many little rules like that. Technically, if somebody gave you like a bazooka, bought a Bazooka Joe, maybe you and me are only people listening knows what that is. Okay,
Especially
play
'cause
for the
I'm old,
Panthers
right?
there. Yeah, look at Haynes King lead the team right down the field.
Mm-hmm.
But you could be in trouble if the agent buys you like something that costs 50 cents. You could be in trouble. Like you can't accept gifts from agents. That's just, and I get why that's the rule, because then every agent will give you gifts to try to assign you. Another play action play that works really well. A lot of play action this game.
Reed.
I like it.
The receiver's name was Reed. I could barely read it because he had his hair all hanging down on his name. But so yeah, like you said, so is this more of a bootleg type play, or
Yeah.
maybe
action
define bootleg for me? Tell me what a bootleg really is in the NFL. I hear the term all the time.
We see it more and more every year because more quarterbacks get mobile. You didn't see it with Bernie Kosar, but yeah, basically you do a play action play the running back and then roll to the other side of the field. And it's really effective, especially if you have a mobile quarterback like Haynes King, because everybody's moving the other way. Everybody moves with the running play.
Mhm.
So you pull a lineman or two that way to protect, and you roll. And usually there shouldn't be, unless the defense reads it. There should be no pass rush. There should be no one over there. And so even though you can only use half the field, you should have a clean pocket. It's not pocket. You should have a clean throwing lane. There should be no one rushing the passer at you, and like there was there. And Jasim Reed got wide open off of that.
So that's what has to happen too, though, right? The receiver has to understand what's going on. He has to get open as well. It's not just the quarterback running back across the field, right?
Well, and what the receiver did is he ran a crossing route being over route was deeper, probably crossing route toward the quarterback. Back, the defense was moving the other way. So if you're moving with the running play, it's not just you have to stop, change direction, and go back. That's why the play was so effective. And yeah, Jasim Reed ran a good route for a touchdown, and there was nobody by the time he caught the ball and had all the momentum. Haynes King hit him right in stride. Easy touchdown.
I want to go back to Carter for a second. Do you think the NCAA should change some of these rules? Because when they made these rules, NIL wasn't in effect. And there's a lot of things that have changed in college football, but it seems like the rules that you can break haven't changed. Is that a problem, Chiefs?
There's so much cheating. There's so many little rules there, and then some people get away with this, and it's a mess. It's tough. NIL, well, I don't love it. Obviously, we both don't like it. It has solved some of those rules, but this is such a tough topic because I understand why he was suspended, but for $427 and paid it back.
And he admitted to it. It's not like he was trying to hide it. That's my thing. He wasn't trying to hide it. He came out and said, "Hey, this is what I did. It was probably wrong, and I apologize for it. And I've already paid it back." Like I said, what else do you want the kid to do?
And he's a really good linebacker, and he's probably going to play in the NFL.
Is he going to be Luke Kuechly NFL?
God no.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
Okay.
But it's there's only one of the games where they'll need him, and they're probably going to beat Georgia Tech anyway. You never know. I don't know what the spread will be in the game. I'm guessing between 10 and 15 points, something like that. But might be at Georgia Tech too. I'm not sure. But it's $427. He paid it back. He decided to come back to school. Like, come on, like. but if obviously if an agent buys you a Range Rover, and you're caught with that, even if you pay it back, you're paying it back because someone in the NIL money, some booster, gave you the money to pay it back.
No, that's true.
So, yeah. It's a tough call, but I'm not happy that he suspended, to be honest. To answer
but as you just said, I can understand why he got suspended. And it actually started out with 3 games, and they knocked it down to 2 games.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they play week 3. But it could be huge. Let me see. I mean, their schedule's brutal. I mean, it's SEC. Although, actually, I think they have one of the lighter SEC schedules. Some teams, like was it Oklahoma, they have a stretch. The last 4 games against top 15 teams or something. Okay, so their third game is Kennesaw State. So it doesn't really matter. They'll win that game anyway. So 2 or 3 doesn't matter. Unless you're picking Kennesaw State to go to the playoff. I don't know if you will.
I'm sorry, if I'm picking who?
Kennesaw State. Are you picking
Kennesaw State?
Hey, I'm going to give you credit, and I'll give it to you again when we do our college football preview.
Uh-oh.
We did underrated team of every conference. You said Duke. You said Duke, and they won the ACC. So I got to give you credit there. I was like, "What, Duke? No way!"
I've got another one for you. We'll do our college football previews and stuff later. I've got another one that I think is going to be really good this coming season. I think a lot of people have picked them the last couple of years, and they haven't been very good. But I think their schedule the last couple of years has had a lot to do with that. And I'm going to pick them because of their
Michigan. Are you?
No, I will. I don't care if Michigan played the Sisters of the Poor every week.
Because their schedule has been brutal.
I still wouldn't pick them.
Okay, because their schedule's much easier in Michigan than it has been. But okay, well, I'm not going to bring up who you picked to win the national title. I'm not going to bring that up at all.
Okay, yeah, don't do that. No, only good vibes for this show. Wait for the next one, would you?
And we're not going to mention who I picked to win the Heisman. We're not going to do that either.
No, we won't do that. No, we won't. Oh, all right. So I don't know if you saw the play a couple plays ago where it looks like there was an out route of some kind, and the ball wasn't even close to the receiver. You and I really won't know if that was a receiver mess up or the quarterback mess up, right?
We won't. I'd have to see it again. I could guess, but this play you're about to see that's not on Beck. That's good ball placement. He put it right where it needed to be. That's on the receiver. So they're gonna have to punt now.
Yeah, so that's an outside shoulder throw, right?
He put it right where it needed to be. It's got to be caught.
And there's a flag on the play, though.
Okay. They went and they're talking to Greg Olson, so I didn't. Is there a flag?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff here. This is, and I totally get this. This is the Hall of Fame game, right? We're gonna do some extracurricular stuff, and so are you and I. We're gonna do it too. you got to understand as well, for those of you who are watching us right at the moment, we can't hear anything that's going on. We're just doing visuals, and then we look back at each other, and then we look at our notes, and I'm not complaining of any stretch of the imagination, but it is a little hard to keep up with some of the stuff here. So I'm pretty sure there was a flag on the play. Have they done anything with that yet? Because you're a little ahead of me.
Well, they got a first down. It was 4th and 10, so they got something, but they're talking to the people, so I didn't see what the penalty was. They didn't show it, but clearly, I think they called pass interference on the play. Anyone in the comments, let us know, but I think they called pass interference. It looked like there was some contact. I didn't look like egregious, but I think that's what they called. But it would make sense why I didn't catch the ball if he was interfered with.
So when we're doing a preseason game like this, and the players are playing in a preseason game like this, do you want the penalties to be called exactly like they are in a regular season game? Do you want them to kind of protect the players a little bit and maybe call a tighter game? Do you want them to let it go and let your athleticism show?
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Ben Knight doesn't want to make the team. That's what I think. But look how downfield Chase Basantis. Look at 57 if you can watch how far downfield he was. This dude is a monster.
Oh, he gives up the ball, yeah. Wow, you're right. He was way down there.
I'm telling you, man, he's got pass blocking. He's got a little technique work to do. His run blocking's ahead, but I just don't, that they're two guys, Spencer Fanu and Chase Basantis. Offensive linemen are not supposed to be able to move and get downfield that quickly like that. They move like tight ends, and they're 300 pounds. So,
that's a name to watch, Basantis.
Chase Basantis, you know how much I love when the Cardinals took him. You know how much I love that pick. There was rumor he'd go in the first round, but he went, early second to the Cardinals. He fell.
So if you're a guy and you've got that much hype on you, so they did not lose the ball?
Maybe they recovered. So I went back to the podcast for a second. I assumed that, okay, maybe the Cardinals recovered. Okay, good. 14-14. It's kind of a fun preseason game.
Actually, it is.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of good. I was afraid we'd see a lot of sloppy play and a lot of interceptions and a lot of fumbles and all this kind of stuff, but we're seeing really pretty good play out of both of these teams so far.
I really like the run blocking by this Cardinals. Mostly it's backups. Basantis obviously going to start. Mostly it's backups, but they're really run blocking well. Corey Kiner's in there now. They took Bam Knight out. I don't think Bam Knight's coming back in after that. I don't see it. So Corey Kiner, number 37.
I mean, I want to ask you a bunch of questions about some of these players, but I don't want to put you on the spot. So, if you know more about the players, then go ahead and embellish. But I'm not going to try to ask you a bunch of stuff.
I know a lot about Corey Kiner. I will tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I said if I do.
Oh, okay. So you don't. Got it.
I know who he is.
Well, I know who he is. I can read the back of his jersey. I know who he is.
I think he went to Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. Not expected to make the team. Probably more of a practice squad guy. But with Bam Knight keeps fumbling, maybe he will make the team. I don't think he's a very big back. He looks more like 200 pounds. I don't know.
So is he more of a candidate for special teams then? Is that what he's more a candidate for?
Yeah, practice squad running back, maybe special teams. I hope he went to Cincinnati. I hope I didn't get that wrong.
That's all right. That's all right. Even
Cincinnati's one of those schools that's like, they seem to produce more NFL players than you think. Like San Diego State's another one. Like, they're never like necessarily up there in the playoff or anything, but they always seem to have a bunch of NFL players. Cincinnati's one of those schools too, that's like that.
Yeah, it's where Kelsey came from. It's where
both Kelseys.
I believe Adam Vinatieri came from Cincinnati too, if I remember right.
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't. Kickers aren't football players, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Yeah.
There's nothing worse tonight. The worst thing we see tonight is Mark Wahlberg's nose in that preview, in that movie preview. I don't think I've ever seen a worse nose in a movie. But South Dakota State for Adam Vinatieri. Okay.
Okay.
Not even South Dakota Jackrabbits, South Dakota State. Let me look up Corey Kiner.
Oh, you know what? I like Chase Basantes now. I'm looking at some of these players real fast as we're doing some things. So my wife says I can't multitask. She's wrong.
Corey Kiner went to Cincinnati. I was right. He put up huge numbers there actually, and was signed undrafted last year. Looks like by the Cardinals. Oh, actually, he signed with the 49ers last year. They cut him. Now he was on Minnesota practice squad. Now he's on the Cardinals. Okay.
All right. Well, we need all that information, buddy. We appreciate you updating us on everything.
I love like trivia. I love guessing like draft and where they went to school, right? So I like getting it right.
And I know you do, so I kind of like asking you about all that kind of stuff. But then again, I don't want to, necessarily put you on the spot all at the same time. So
I don't mind saying I don't know. You were asking me the trade deadline special. There are a couple guys I'm like I don't really know who that is.
Right? I know. It's why I was like, oh, I did that to him again.
I don't care. No, like some bullpen guys on teams I don't watch. It's like I'm not going to know who that is. Probably like some of them I'm not going to know. I have knowledge of all 32 teams in football, but like 30 teams in baseball. I'm going to need your help sometimes on some of them. Okay. I just don't watch a lot of A's games. I don't watch a lot of Angels games, stuff like that. I'm not going to know all the players on those teams, especially they haven't played the Braves or Cubs recently.
So I'm liking Basantes here because he's a few years younger than me at 22 years old, but we share the same birthday. So June 10th.
He could be your grandson.
He could maybe be my great grandson.
Okay, here's a birthday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Played for, of course, Texas A&M. Did that hurt his stock too, Cheese? Because it's Texas A&M and not Georgia and Ohio State and stuff like that. Does that hurt team stock some?
I think being a Gemini hurts your stock. I think if you're a Gemini, it will just destroy your stock. Is that what you asked? If they're a Gemini? Yeah.
No, not if they're a Gemini. I was just because he played at I don't want to say a lesser college, but at the same point he played at a lesser college, right?
I don't care what college it is. If you are successful in the SEC, if you're a beast, and he was, no, Texas A&M was they were in the playoff last year, so they're a top 10 team, I think, right now. They might be like the sixth highest rated SEC team, and they're like 10th or 11th in the country right now. The polls, they're always going to push SEC. They're going to move a bunch of them up top 15 every year. They do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because it has SEC after it. Yeah.
No, but they should be pretty good. No, I don't think so at all. No, Texas A&M. No. He was one of those guys. I loved most of his film. And then in some past sets, he got beat quickly, like for some good SEC rushers. But I think it's a technique issue. That's why I liked him so much. He has fixable issues in pass blocking. So that's why I thought he would probably go in the late first round. But he fell, obviously, the second round. And the Cardinals were like, okay, you're not going to take him. We'll take him. And the Cardinals have taken one of their biggest weaknesses, guard, and they've upgraded both spots. Now it might be a strength. So I really like that.
Well, with 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the in the first half, the Cardinals have taken the lead, 17-14. But I want to ask you here. So it's Ryland, the kicker. He was the kicker last year. He's going to be the kicker moving forward. There's nothing to prove here. So why don't you just go for it as a team? And if you don't make it, doesn't that I don't know. I personally don't like this. The preseason is for taking chances to me. The preseason is for, we'll go for it on 4th and 16 or whatever it is. Here's the play call. Let's see if we can execute it, right? Or do you like it? Okay, they're playing safe. They're trying to, quote unquote, win this game.
I agree with you, but I'll tell you why they're doing it. Because some of those guys that, are playing on the kicking unit, they want to kick some, right? Not just extra points. They want to try field goals because they're going to have to. Some of these guys might be rookies or backup offensive linemen, and they want to play together. And you have to run some kicking special team snaps besides extra points. That's why I agree with you. I'd much rather they just go for that. It's much more entertaining. But you have to run every kind of play, every kind of situation. You have to try to run it in preseason because some of these guys are trying to make it in special teams. You want them to play together. If that makes any sense.
I mean, it does, but I don't know.
I agree with you. I'd rather not see that. But
and it's not for my entertainment purposes whatsoever. I'm not trying to be, the guy or anything like that. That's not what I'm after whatsoever. I just want, as a fan, I want to see if they can do it. And as a fan, if they go for it on 4th and 16 and they don't do it, I'm like, oh, well, okay. At least they went for it. I mean, that's kind of the way I would look at it, and I wouldn't look at it as a bust, or I wouldn't be upset. We should never have gone for this play. No, I want them to, and because if they do it and they get it done, I'm like, yes, there we go.
Oh my God, they're going to show Mr. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. I agree with you. I'm telling you, Sean McVay wouldn't kick it there even the preseason. Dan Campbell, he's not kicking that, even if it's preseason. There's no way Dan Campbell wouldn't kick that in the regular season. There's so many games when the Lions went 15-2 2 years ago. They won like 3 games where he could have kicked the field goal in overtime and just went for it anyway, and they got it. Like they had a stretch where they went 6 for 6 on 4th downs, like inside of 2 minutes. They kept getting it. Kind of bite them in the butt last year. They weren't as successful, but yeah, certain coaches also, like Mike McDonald of the Seahawks, he's kicking it there. He kicked every field goal opportunity. Oh, 4th and 2, I'm kicking the field goal in the Super Bowl. He took the points, and it worked because the Seahawks were a lot better than the Patriots. But certain coaches will kick it, and some will go for it. And Mike LaFleur, if he's like his brother, he will kick it every time.
I've got a couple of interesting stats that I want to get to with Larry Fitzgerald here, but I want to ask you this first. You're going to hear us say, so many time Pro Bowl selection and so many time All Pro. Talk to me for a minute, Cheese. Does the Pro Bowl mean as much now as it did? And when you hear a guy that's All Pro Bowl, or he was first team, or he was second team, and does any of that stuff really move the needle for you anymore, or has it really diminished over the years in the NFL?
I think All Pro does. I think it always will. How many times you're All Pro could definitely help you get in the Hall of Fame or not. Pro Bowl, well, if Shedeur Sanders makes it, then it's broken system. Shedeur Sanders made the Pro Bowl. He was probably, I was going to say he's the worst quarterback in NFL last year, but J.J. McCarthy and Dylan Gabriel also played. His teammate Dylan Gabriel, but he was probably bottom 3 quarterback in the league, and he made it. So fan voting, we've seen the All-Star game. There were some we talked about this. There were baseball players that didn't deserve to be in, but All Pro I think matters. Pro Bowl at this point, yeah, if you make 10 Pro Bowls, you're very good. But just making a Pro Bowl, no, it doesn't mean as much.
So this is interesting. As I'm watching this game, they're doing the 2-minute offense, right? With a different quarterback, with a different line, with a bunch of different receivers. What does this show you as a fan, Cheese, and what is this going to show you as the coaching staff of the Carolina Panthers?
What, like the 2-minute drill?
Yes.
If you can run, I mean, obviously they're playing kind of a prevent type thing, but if you can run a 2-minute drill, it helps your stock because that you've got to be able to get points in a half, give you momentum. You've got to be able to make the right throws, try to hit sidelines. So yeah, it's very important, very, very important.
Yes, we got 53 seconds left in the first half.
Haynes King's is making the Panthers thinking like we might keep 3 quarterbacks because we know Bryce Young, Kenny Pickett have made the team, right? But more than half the teams only keep 2. But the way he's playing, they might have a hard decision because you don't want to. Your third quarterback could be really
big
important.
missed tackle.
Your third quarterback could be really important. You don't want to cut a guy and then 5 teams put in a waiver claim. It's called the Taysom Hill complex. Green Bay Packers had Taysom Hill in camp. He played amazing, but they already had Aaron Rodgers and I believe it was Matt Flynn, and they only wanted to keep 2 quarterbacks, so they cut him. Like half the league put in, not half the league, it was probably 5 or 6 teams put in claims. Saints got him, and he was such a great, unique type player for them. Packers could have had him all those years. So
There's our buddy Ben Jarman, who's with us. He does a bunch of articles on Tumblr. He's been on the show once. He's asking, what do you think of Carson Beck? So,
my God.
I haven't seen it yet.
Is it Jimmy Horn Jr.?
Hold on. Let me do some play-by-play here. So we got 15-yard line, Kings back to throw. Oh, and you say, because somebody Jr. Horn Jr. It looked like
Jimmy Horn's son.
That is Jimmy Horn's son?
Yep.
Yeah, Horn Jr., number 15, just had a present gift wrapped for him in the end zone, and he did not come down with it.
It looked like he wasn't expecting the ball that quickly. I don't know if Haynes King got – I'm not going to put it all on him. Maybe Haynes King got so excited. He was so wide open. It was terrible defense, by the way. And so he just threw it. Oh, look, he's got it. Because it looked like he wasn't quite ready for it. Sometimes it's not always on the receiver.
Wow. King gets out, escapes right back to about the line of scrimmage when it looked like he was going to take a 10 or 12 loss. But there is a flag on the plate with 12 seconds left here in the first half of the Hall of Fame game that Arizona is leading 17-14. Cheese, if I give you the spot, do you want to be a play-by-play guy or do you want to be the color commentator? Which one do you think you'd be better at on NFL?
I'd be a terrible play-by-play guy. Color commentator.
Okay, that's good because I'll one of these games that we do, we're not going to do a whole lot of extra topics, and we're gonna see if this works because I'll watch a lot of film here between now and then. We're going to try to do some of these games. More than likely, most of them will be the early games that come on when they are overseas. And by the way, just to throw this out there, thank you, Ben Jarman. Appreciate the comment. You guys can also comment as well. We'll talk about Carson Beck here a little bit more when the third quarter starts, but he is not going to be in the third or fourth quarter. They've already said that. Carson Beck gets the first two quarters, and then I can't remember the guy's name who gets the fourth quarter.
Just showing Jeremiah Love highlights. His cuts, his feet, are unbelievable. He's just people aren't supposed to be able to make cuts like that. It's not right.
But that's why you took him with the pick because you didn't really need him if you're the Arizona Cardinals. You've got running backs in the room. He wasn't a need. He was a luxury, right?
I would love to have been in that room with Michael Flohr and Monty Ossenfort and just hearing why. There were some really good defensive players available. We know this.
Yes.
They must think he's a top 5 running back right now in the NFL. They must think he's special because of all the positions on the team, you could say they didn't need somebody who's probably running back.
Yeah.
Because they signed Tyler Algier. They have James Conner. They have Bam Knight. Tyler Algier.
Trey Benson.
Trey. Oh God, I forgot Trey Benson. Trey Benson. Talk about size and speed. That guy's got a lot of talent. A lot of talent. Tyler Algier. We talk about Josh Sweat. I think more likely they trade Tyler Algier at the end of camp. To be honest with you, for a team that has a running back injury, I think he's more likely to be traded than Sweat. Because
really,
Tyler Algier he's one of the best 32 running backs in the NFL. I think he might be one of the best 20, but he's behind Bijan Robinson. He's a very good player. And they drafted Jeremiah Love, and they have James Conner. I mean, he's not going to play. He's not going to play. So,
well, he is going to play, but you and I
lot.
both know that the NFL does 2 running back systems now. There is no workhorse anymore. There is no one running back that gets 90% of the plays anymore. You need 2 running backs, right? And you need 2 good running backs, not one good one and one decent one. You need 2 good running backs now in the NFL, right?
I got a text. That was an important text.
I got it. I saw you looking down. That's why I kept talking. I'm good at keeping talking. I like to hear myself talk. It's okay.
My girlfriend's going to bring me some food.
Well, tell her to bring me some too.
No, that you bring up a good point. And
I try to, sir.
But how could you not give carries to James Conner when healthy? He's very good. He's not like, oh, he's okay. He's a very good running back when healthy. And you just use the third pick on a guy that has to be the guy. You do not use the third overall pick on a running back, and he's not the main guy. I think Jeremiah Love's going to lead them in carries. Would you agree or disagree with that?
He pretty much has to, doesn't he? Because, those are the guys that that's the guy that you just drafted. We're going to talk about some extensions and things here later on in this broadcast. And even though they had a whole bunch of people who got extensions, Jeremiah Love is, I believe, still the highest paid running back in the league, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Okay.
I think he was the biggest guaranteed money because his first 4 years are guaranteed. He might still be that. Yeah, I think he is. He's still more guaranteed money, even though it's rookie, because he was the third pick. Jahmyr Gibbs contract, he's close, but overall, Jahmyr Gibbs now makes the most. But
okay,
but just on the talent, it's not even like the Arizona Cardinals might have 3 of the best 20 running backs in the NFL. They might. It's crazy. It was the one position they really didn't need. They signed Algier because Connor had trouble staying healthy, and they, like you said, played 2 backs.
Mm-hmm.
I would have taken Overall Reese. I absolutely would have taken him.
I'm with you. We both said that.
I would have taken him, and if not, I would have traded down and taken Caleb Downs. Just can you imagine? Oh, we've talked about this. Caleb Downs next to Budda Baker.
Yep. Yeah. Caleb Downs was my guy, actually. Yeah. I take that back. That's who I wanted because, like I said before, I want both of those guys out there and just basically say, come on, do what you want. We got 2 of the best guys in the NFL out here in the middle. Go ahead, do what you want.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
That's fine. While you do that, I want to pull up this.
Okay.
I will probably have to take this off here. So I'm going to look at this here real fast, everybody. We have gone to halftime at 17-17. So let me click a couple of things, get to where I want to get to, take this banner off real fast so that you can see this a little bit more. We were talking about how great some of these runners are. Here are the top 10 active rushing yard leaders. Doesn't surprise me that Derrick Henry's number 1 or Saquon is number 2. I was a little surprised at Josh Jacobs being number 3. I don't know, Chiefs. I mean, I know he's your Green Bay Packer guy. I don't want to say does he deserve the top spot, because obviously he does. I mean, this is a product of what he's been and what his team has been. I was just a little surprised that Josh Jacobs was number 3 on this list. Are you surprised by that at all?
No, because he's been in the league 7 years, and he, especially with the Raiders, he was the guy. He was the worker. He's been a workhorse. He's not a guy that you necessarily need. He can do 22, 25 carries, no problem. And he's, for the most part, I mean, he may have missed 1 or 2 games ever for the Packers. He's very durable, and he's just always been the guy. Aaron Jones has had a knee, missed 5 games here, missed 7 games there. Jonathan Taylor, same thing. He's had some injury issues. Christian McCaffrey's biggest surprise because it feels like he's been in the league 15 years. But he's had injury issues. God, Lamar Jackson, that's crazy. I know you sent me this, but I hadn't looked at it yet.
Yeah, it's okay. But sorry, we're busy, man. This is our 3rd podcast this week, so I completely understand. The other guy that I want to take a look at is number 10. It's the whole reason I brought this up and put it up on the screen right now while we were talking about it. Are they disrespecting James Conner when they went out and got Algier and they went out and got Jeremiah Love? Do you think that a guy who is number 10 on this list, and he's close to being number 9, right? David Montgomery is only 50 or so. He's not even 50 ahead of him. I mean, he's less than 50 yards ahead of him. So are they, I don't want to say disrespecting, but how do you think James Conner is taking the fact that there are 2 younger running backs in front of them that are probably going to get more touches than he is?
Well, first of all, David Montgomery, I think the Lions are really going to miss him. He made some big plays for them last year. I think it's a good move for the Texans. But yeah, I to answer your question, yeah, a little bit. I think a little bit they disrespected him, but they're when they signed out, they should have either signed Algier or drafted Jeremiah Love. It would have been okay. You wouldn't have disrespected him because he's had trouble staying healthy. So we need a backup plan. Like when they signed Algier, oh, okay, they'll split carries, because he's a little older and he's had trouble staying healthy. But then they doubled down. So it is a little disrespectful. I feel like they should have done one or the other. But if they had known they were drafting Jeremiah Love, they never would have signed Tyler Algier.
Right. That was the point that I was going to make too. They didn't know that when they signed Algier.
They hadn't gone through the whole process. I mean, the draft was still 6 weeks away, maybe 2 months almost. Yeah. Yeah. About 6 weeks away. They did not know at the time that they were going to take Jeremiah Love.
So then at 6 weeks out though, Cheese, and you're the one of the bigger draft analysts I know. And for those of you who, maybe this is your first time seeing this podcast because you're wanting to watch football, but yet, you're at work or something and you can't get the game. So you're listening to us. And we very much appreciate the fact that you are. Cheese does all these 32 teams on his channel. And he is big emphasis on the NFL draft. So as they're doing this though, Cheese, shouldn't the Cardinals have at least had it narrowed down to 4 or 5 people at that point when they got Algier?
Here's what I would look. This is why I said I'd love to have been in that room.
Mm-hmm.
What if David Bailey was their guy? David Bailey, Texas Tech edge rusher. Maybe he was their guy. And they thought, we're going to get him. That was their guy. And the Jets took him at 2. They knew at that point, everyone knew Fernando Mendoza was going number 1 in March. We knew that. But they may have decided that David Bailey's the guy. And they're like, the Jets, they have pretty good pass rush. They're not going to take a pass rusher. And the Jets probably took what they thought was the best player available. And I love the Jets draft this year. I almost never say that. But
especially not about the Jets.
When David Bailey went, they might have been like, well, they might not have loved Arvell Reese or Mansur Delane or Sonny Styles or one. There's no way they were going Colonel Tate or Jordan Tyson. They weren't taking a receiver. We know that. So they're probably like the best player on our board is Jeremiah Love. So let's just take him. I'd love to know if they love David Bailey. I think pass rush beside Josh Sweat is still an issue. But I guess we'll never know. And, they weren't taking Ruben Bain. That was too high for him. So, yeah.
Okay. So the last thing I want to look at on this list, he's not my favorite guy. In fact, he's not really one of my favorite players at all, but I have to give him his props here. How impressive is it that Lamar Jackson, being a quarterback, is number 8 on this list?
So impressive. What's even more impressive is that he hurt his back and his hamstring last year. The fact that he missed a bunch of time and even when he came back, he wasn't 100%. That hasn't happened before. I mean, he's had other injuries, but he's been so effective. It's very impressive. When he's healthy, 100% healthy, he's unbelievable. He's won 2 MVPs for a reason. He wasn't healthy last year, but it's really impressive. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, and who knows? He could have 10,000 career rushing yards by the time it's all said and done. That's crazy for a running back, and we know he's going to put up passing numbers too.
I wasn't going to do this. I just kind of thought about it as you were saying that Lamar Jackson is a Hall of Famer. Let's look at the 10 people on this list, Cheese. James Conner, Hall of Famer?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, what about David Montgomery?
No, God, no way.
Okay, so Lamar is going to be a Hall of Famer, right?
Yes.
Okay, Alvin Kamara?
Lamar, if he can retire tomorrow, he still probably gets in. More questionable, but yeah, he will. Alvin Kamara, no.
Christian McCaffrey?
Yes. What he did in the receiving game as a running back is so amazing.
Jonathan Taylor?
To be determined.
Okay. Adam Jones? Or Aaron Jones, I'm sorry.
Probably not.
Wow.
He would have to play several more years, but probably not. He's a very good player. Did you ever think he was one of the best 5 running backs in the NFL?
No. I was really surprised he was on this list.
I always thought he's been a top 10 back for probably 6 or 7 years in his career. I don't think he is anymore, but he's never been to me a top 5 back. And you have to be one of the best 5 at your position to me to be in the Hall of Fame for at least 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Well, I'll remember that quote when we talk about one of these guys who's going into the Hall of Fame later. Um, I said I was surprised Josh Jacobs was this high on the list. I'm not surprised Josh Jacobs was on the list. I was just a little. I didn't think he had 7,803 yards. I figured he'd be 5 to 10, somewhere in that neighborhood. I was just surprised that he was this high. Is Josh Jacobs a Hall of Famer right now?
Right now, no. He can get there. He has to keep it up. He's so durable. He's one of those guys that 32, 33 could still be playing at a high level. But his strength is how quick he sees a hole and he hits it. He's so quick. That is his biggest strength. But right now, no.
What about Barkley?
Barkley's on his way. A little concerning last year he wasn't as good. But if he returns to form, has 2 or 3 more good years, yes.
And then I think we can everybody on that's watching right now, if any of you say that Derrick Henry's not a Hall of Famer, you need to have a urine test. But here's the point that I'm going to make off of all this, Cheese. Here's the top 10 active rushing leaders, and we only got 2 or 3 Hall of Famers off of this list. What does that say about the running back position and how currently it's done in the NFL?
Like you said, a lot of people use 2 running backs. And because of that, some of these guys aren't going to sniff it. They're not going to make it. But also injuries. A lot of these guys just have not had, like Josh Jacobs is third on this list because he's maybe missed a handful of games, maybe less in his whole career. And a lot of these guys have missed 20% of the games. James Conner had a chance to be, and he just has not stayed healthy his whole career. And you know more about him probably. Did he beat cancer at one point? I think he
Josh
did.
Jacobs?
No, James Conner.
Oh, James Conner. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah.
So beat cancer, and he's had injuries. Can you imagine if he didn't? Like, yeah. I mean, he was. I remember when they took him. The Pittsburgh Steelers took him in the 3rd round, and right away, like, reading articles saying, this guy is. They shows up to camp, the first mini camp, and Steelers writers are writing like, oh, this is a dude. Like, this is not a guy that should have gone in the 3rd round. Like, why did he fall there?
Yeah, he's definitely a mentor to a lot of the other guys on the Cardinals team. I know a lot of those guys look up to him. He's the guy who will pull you off to the side, and he is their leader right now, from everything I'm told and I'm reading and everything else. That does have a place on every team's field, no matter what sport you're playing, right? You have to have at least one of those guys. But that's the reason why I wanted to talk about the whole disrespect thing. I mean, he's close to a Hall of Fame, right? He has, 3 really good years at the end of his career. He probably nudges himself into the NFL Hall of Fame. And he's not going to get that on the Arizona Cardinals. So wouldn't you – I mean, he has to know this too, right? I'm sure he knows where his numbers are, and he knows where he's at on this list. And he's got to be – pushing to get into the NFL Hall of Fame. And are the Cardinals keeping him from getting in that door and wearing that jacket?
With the injury issues, I don't think he'd get it anyway. Even with 3 more years, it'd be tough. If he got 10,000 yards, maybe. But yeah, there's no way with their team right now. There's no way. If he spends the next couple of years with the team, he will not get in. No way.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm not trying to be selfish, and I think it speaks more to Connor's character that he's not coming out and going, "Hey, man, I don't want to be a 3rd string guy. Trade me." I have conquered cancer, and I've come back, and I played for the Steelers, and now I'm with the Arizona Cardinals, and I want to. I mean, what, they got Najee Harris over in Pittsburgh and pretty much no one else at running back?
Carson
right?
Beck is coming out there for the second half, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I like that. I want to see him. I want him to play the whole game.
So I was told that, we were told kind of through, and I don't want to say I'm like some part of the media here because I'm not, but everything that I had seen and read said he was going to get the first half only. So,
but you know what? Maybe they're rewarding him because he's played amazing. He hasn't played good. He's played amazing. He's made some throws that are just like.
Can you reward somebody in a preseason game like this? I mean,
oh, absolutely. Is that Bam Knight back in there?
Looks like it.
I would not put him back in there. I'd be mad at him.
Be mad at him. Listen at you.
Chase Masantis is in there. Interesting. Oh God, they're showing the LaFleur family. Please, God, no.
All right,
If
so
you're
we
a
got to
regular
talk about.
to this, you know what I think of Matt LaFleur. Let's not even talk. I don't want to talk about Matt LaFleur. I want to we talk about Mike LaFleur, but I don't want to talk about Matt.
Okay, so you don't want me to put up that coaching graphic and all that stuff to where they got
You
the
can put up
top 10
whatever you want,
coaches?
Mike. I just don't want to talk about Matt. We'll talk about Mike.
Okay. Oh man, yeah. I mean, let's talk about some of these guys that are going into the Hall of Fame real quick. Okay, so first team All Pro in 2008, second team All Pro in 29 and 2011. That's Larry Fitzgerald. We talked about, do all these All Pros and do all these Pro Bowl selections mean a whole lot? But I want to ask you this. Which one of these is more impressive, Cheese? Larry Fitzgerald is second in NFL career receiving yards. He is also second in
Jerry Rice, right?
I'm sorry?
Probably Jerry Rice. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yes,
Jerry
that
Rice.
is true.
Very likely. Yes.
Yes, it is Jerry Rice.
Look at the play. I love. They just keep calling play action. I love this. I love this. We're seeing so much play action tonight from both teams.
You're getting so excited about the first preseason game, Cheese. I don't know if it's just your love of football.
I watched Drew Pensing's play calling last year, and this is so much better. I don't see this from the Cardinals enough last year. There wasn't a lot of play action.
See, you're hyping this up, man. The Cardinals fans are, they're rubbing their hands together. They're okay. Here we go. Cheese the same.
The Cardinals win a Super Bowl.
Oh man.
Larry
All right, so get back to Larry Fitzgerald, okay?
Sorry.
He's which one of these again is more impressive to you? He's second in the NFL in career receiving yards. He's second in the NFL in career receptions, and he's sixth in career receiving touchdowns. So which one of those three do you think is more impressive? Second in receiving yards, second in receptions, or him being sixth in career receiving touchdowns? That's career.
I think yards, just because he was so good. There's some games, God, he was just uncoverable. There was a playoff game against Green Bay. If anyone could have just contained him. Do you remember that overtime game? He just killed the Packers. But yards, he was big, a receiver that could get yards after catch. Guys his size don't move like him. So I think yards, second all time in yards, I think that's the most impressive. What do you think?
I don't think the most impressive thing is actually on this stat sheet for him. When I remember about Larry.
This is the ones you gave me.
I know. Hey, I'm the one giving the stats out here, okay? I can turn on them whenever I want. But what I remember about Larry Fitzgerald more than anything else is he wasn't Megatron-like, but if you got the ball close to him, he was coming down with it. He had some of the strongest hands I've ever seen in my life. He caught everything. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I remember about, Larry more than anything else. And, yes, he's second in career reception. So I guess that does kind of fall into that category. But like I said, it just, and poor Larry, I say this about him all the time. This poor guy, how many different crappy quarterbacks did he have in his career? And he still has these kind of stats.
I mean, Carson Palmer was pretty decent.
Okay, so what? 2 years out of his career? I mean,
I just there's some games I will never forget this about Larry Fitzgerald. It's not just Pack games, but some other games too, where he just took the game over. Like, you couldn't double team him. You couldn't do anything. Like, okay, if you try to bump him to the line, he'd just get off of that. No problem. If you try to play off, he'll just burn you with his route running. Like, and I said the Packer game, there's a playoff Packer game, maybe like 10, 12 years ago, where they went to overtime and he already almost had 200 yards receiving or something. And then overtime, he catches the ball and runs and gets caught at the goal line. Like, he just, and then they scored a touchdown, game over. Like, he just completely burned that corner, like destroyed him. And it's like, I was like, I hate you, Larry Fitzgerald. I hate you so much, but I appreciate how good you are. But it's like, Packer, if you don't play in the game, you get sick. They win easily. You killed us. But he was good at all phases. He was just amazing.
I want to do this real quick for Larry. I know there's a lot of people that are going to have a lot of different stats on him, and I wanted to do something a little bit different because, I'm here in Arizona. I know we got a lot of Arizona Cardinals fans with us right at the moment. Carson Beck, by the way, I keep looking up at the television while I'm looking at these stats and stuff. He's still impressive, right? I mean, he is doing really well in this game.
He is. He's playing great. It is preseason. Like I said, grain of salt. Got a 4th and 5 coming up. Dave Canales looks annoyed by it, the head coach of the Panthers. He looks annoyed at how well Carson Beck's doing. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That was so cool. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, but you're going to love this play.
Okay, here we go. So Beck back. Oh, he's throwing deep. Nice. That was a nice catch, and he got hammered too.
Was he being interfered with?
Virgil?
Yeah, it's Reggie Virgil. Yeah, the rookie. I really like Reggie Virgil. Texas Tech. He should have been drafted higher.
He dropped it.
He dropped it?
Yes.
Oh.
He had it and then dropped it.
Replay. Okay. Once again, though, great throw.
Yeah, he put it where it needed to be, and Virgil went up to get it. He just simply got it knocked away. If you watch the replay,
he was being bumped a little as he went up to get it, maybe. But he was a 5th-round pick, and he was not. I think he was the second. Yeah, Caleb Douglas, the other Texas Tech receiver, was drafted in the 3rd round by the Dolphins. I liked Reggie Virgil better. I thought his tape was better. I thought he projected NFL. I thought it was a big reach by the Dolphins, and then I thought Reggie Virgil probably should have been more a 3rd rounder, and Caleb Douglas 5th rounder. So I thought he came down with it, but I turned and looked at the podcast. I was all excited.
It's okay.
But
okay.
Once again, ball placement. We talk about ball placement, how important it is. That was really good ball placement.
So here's something crazy that I want to do, Cheese. I want to get your again, you are the big draft analyst. I did not tell you I was going to do this, but I had this yesterday, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to ask Cheese about this. Believe it or not, I have Larry Fitzgerald's pre-draft measurables in front of me.
Ooh.
Yes. So, I don't care about weight, height, arm length's 32 1/8. His hand span is 9 7/8 inches.
Okay.
Right? Big hands.
Yes.
40-yard dash time for Larry Fitzgerald on his pre-draft. 4.47 seconds.
That's really good time for someone that big.
20-yard shuttle, 4.27 seconds. Explain to us the 20-yard shuttle and tell me if you like the 4.27 seconds.
The shuttle, it's an agility drill. Yes, that is. People have gotten better, as the years gone on. But for someone that size, that's an insane score. Yes.
Yeah. So you keep saying someone that size. So he's 6 foot 2 7/8 inches, and he weighs 225. That's what he weighed when all this was going on.
So 6 foot, 200-pound wide receivers, most of them won't come close to that in this 20-yard shuttle.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So I've got the 3-cone drill because if I remember correctly, this is the one that you like. But do you like this for the receivers, or what's the 3-cone drill for as far as a wide receiver goes? What do you want to see?
Yeah. 3-cone drill is agility, it's change of direction. Receivers, edge rushers is big too. Receivers, corners, and edge rushers. That's what I want to see on the 3-cone.
All right. So Larry Fitzgerald's 3-cone drill was 6.97 seconds.
I was going to say, if it's under 7, that's crazy.
Barely, but it is.
No, but that's like usually you want. I mean, you want under 7 if they're like a, speed, like slot kind of corner quick guy. You want to make sure they're under 7. But he's 6'2", 225.
Yeah.
Yes.
6'2", 225. Yes.
Yes.
He had a vertical jump, Cheese, of.
Make sure you watch this play.
Okay, 35 inches. I will watch this play here. Looks like King is still in the game, right?
Well, no, the Panthers have the ball. For now.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So
they strip it from the running back. He looks like he's hurt. He's holding his right.
Newsome. Oh, Newsome is the one. Yeah, that's Anthony Tyus. Newsome stripped it.
And then Oliver recovers. Let's see here. They're showing me the replay. I know we're a little bit different here. He just punches the ball out. Nice job. He literally just punches the ball out. But
it was the peanut punch.
I'm sorry, it was the what?
The peanut punch. Charles Peanut Tillman. He invented it, the former Bears defensive back. Trust me, I know. He did the Packers quite a bit.
Okay, I'll trust you. Now the Cardinals have the ball back, right on the 50-yard line, or about the 47 or so of the Carolina Panthers is where they start.
So, yeah, that was Quentin Newsom, former Nebraska Cornhusker.
Okay. So they're showing Larry Fitzgerald on the screen.
He's a very good tackling defensive back. If he wants to make the team, though, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's a big play, right? That you circle that. That goes on your highlight reel, right?
There's Reggie Virgil. Oh, I'm ahead of you. I forgot. Yes, that's big. Making plays.
Now, see, I like that too. That is I'm not the big football guy you are, so maybe you can add to this. That looked like Virgil coming back to the ball. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes I'm glad you brought that up. Sometimes receivers don't really know. They just stop and stand there and hope the quarterback throws it to them. Sometimes you have to come back to the quarterback, help them out. Come back, especially if there's they're playing a zone and there's all these defensive backs around you. Don't just stand there and let the defender catch up. Come back and help your quarterback out. Yeah, it made it 3rd and 1, but they just got it. So there you go. Come back to the ball. I need to, let's see.
Got one of our fans here giving us a little bit more knowledge.
And yeah, Mike remembers when they were in the Chicago Cardinals.
John, we appreciate it. John Connor, 4330. Thank you for that. Arizona is the oldest
John Connor
team in the NFL. Were once known as the Chicago Cardinals. Yes. And I've said this for a while, Cheese.
What?
I don't like the fact that they're the Cardinals. That has nothing to do with Arizona. I know they moved from a different spot and they kept that.
That's what they've always been.
Yes, but you move to a different state now. It's kind of like I get that the Browns didn't want to change, but they're the Oilers changed their name and stuff like that. I don't see why the Cardinals can't change their stuff.
Well, that's a really good move there by
wow.
I believe that's Xavier Weaver.
Well, not only that, Xavier Weaver. That's exactly who that is. Honestly, I thought the running back had the ball. That was a great job by Beck to hide that ball and the running back to sell that play.
He also, Weaver missed that first tackle. I mean, he could have been in the backfield. After this drive, I'm going to have to run to, restroom real quick. But
okay, no problem. No problem. I completely understand. So let's go back to Larry's measurables here real quick, because I got a few more that I want to go over with you here. So we did the 40-yard dash, the 20-yard shuttle. We already talked about 3-cone drill. His vertical jump was 35 inches. Again, 6'2", 225.
What was his vertical again?
35 inches.
Sorry, Matt Olson may have hit a homer. Oh, it's foul. Okay. So one more time. Sorry.
We're just watching so much stuff.
You
know what? I think that's what the average fan does, right? We have so many interests, and we're trying to do so many things, and we're trying to watch stuff.
I got two TVs.
Yeah, I get it.
What was his vertical again?
35 inches. I've got 2 computers and a TV.
Okay. 35. That's not like out of this world great, but still, I mean, for his size, that's very good.
All right, and then I got 2 more for you. His broad jump, 10 foot 1 inch.
Very good. Very, very good. That's lower body explosive, the broad jump. Lower body explosiveness, yeah.
And then one more for you. I got his Wonderlic score.
That is like an IQ test, basically.
Okay. So his Wonderlic score was 18, by the way.
Okay. Thought it'd be a little higher than that, but it's basically you have 10 minutes to answer 50 questions. Most people will never finish it. They'll get to 40, 42 maybe. But yeah, thought it might be a little higher than that. They don't post those anymore. 21
no,
usually 21's about average intelligence, but some people are not good at if you listen to him talk, he's smarter than that. Some people are just not good test takers too. But it's
I'm not.
I'll give you an example. They might say, which does not belong? Horse, cow, dog, or snake? And you obviously pick snake. Like questions like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of questions. But that's like the first couple. They get much harder. And some of them you have to do math. I actually took it one time. I'm not going to tell you what I got, but I did not finish it.
Did it have a negative sign in front of it when you?
I got a 1. That's the only one I got right. I got a 1. Matt Olson just did homer. The first one was foul, but he just hit one. So go Braves.
Okay, go Braves, right? So the Arizona Cardinals are threatening here. They run a couple plays where they haven't got a whole lot from the offense.
They're going to try a field goal again. I think they should go for this. I know you agree.
Yes, I so much want them to go for this.
Oh, no, it's 4th and 22. No, you can't go for that.
Well, I don't know.
Hey, they got a good kicker. I am going to take like a couple minutes here. I'll be
Okay,
right
no
back,
problem.
everybody.
I got it.
And we will talk more Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. See you in a minute. All right, so Cheese is going to go take a break here, go to the restroom. I mean, we've been on here for almost 2 hours, so I totally get it. 20-17 is the score of the game here. 4 minutes, 42 seconds left in the third quarter. He just made a 43-yard field goal for the Arizona Cardinals, taking that 20-17 lead. All right, so we are going to get into some more stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you sticking with us, a bunch of you, and then we just keep adding more and more and more people as this night wears on here, as we are doing our live watch-along of the NFL's very first game of the season, the Hall of Fame game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. So we're going to get into a lot of other stuff with players that we think should be in the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about the extensions that the Lions have handed out here, because they have handed out a ton of them. So we'll talk Lions here in just a couple of moments. We'll also talk about Stephon Diggs. I want to get to that topic. And I want to talk about Luke Kuechly. I've got a lot of things to say about Luke Kuechly as well. So I'll wait for Cheese to come back when we talk about Luke Kuechly here. But that'll probably be the next topic that we will get into. So we've already talked about Larry Fitzgerald. We'll talk about Luke Kuechly. I also want to talk about Adam Vinatieri and Drew Brees and the other guys who are in the Hall of Fame this year. We'll talk about all of those guys here in just a moment. So if any of you guys out there have things that you would like to talk about, please just click on the comment section, and you can certainly do that. We will talk to you, answer anything that you put up there, as long as you're talking about the game. And we don't answer the trolls, obviously, but we will answer some of the other things that pop up. And we certainly appreciate you being a part of the show. And we thank you guys very much for being with us here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Roger Craig is also, a running back, San Francisco 49ers. He is also going into the Hall of Fame today. So, yeah, a lot of different things here. Let's talk about this part of the Hall of Fame. Let me pull up a picture. It'll be ready for when Cheese comes back. I'll take the banner off the side so all of you can see it a little bit better. We'll know when Cheese comes back on. And I'll ask, who will make the Hall of Fame in 2027? We got some choices up here for you. You guys can comment. We would love to have you comment on it here. Who will make the Hall of Fame in 2027? You got the choices here: Ben Roethlisberger, you've got Adrian Peterson, you got Rob Gronkowski, Cam Newton, Richard Sherman. So you have all of those. What do you got over there? Canes. Oh, she brought you something, huh?
Yes. So I might be like over here. I'm just eating. That's all.
Okay.
I just don't want to eat on camera. But yes, we got Cane's.
I got you.
We got Cane's sauce.
Oh, it is good. The best thing, we're gonna promo Cane's here real quick, but I think the best thing about them is their bread, man. I love the bread.
Are you talking about this?
Why? Why are you doing that to me? Why? All right, hang on. I'm gonna text Shauna right now. I have to have her bring me some Cane's. And I know you guys are in Texas and I'm in Arizona, but I'm sure she'll figure out a way to do it.
I'm a lucky guy. She's the best.
All right, so we've already got one person. Thank you very much, Trudy. We'll put that up here. Big Ben. Who will make the 27 Hall of Fame? You got Ben Roethlisberger. You got Adrian Peterson. You got Rob Gronkowski, Cam Newton, Richard Sherman. We'll talk about these guys, and then we'll talk about who we think is eligible for the Hall of Fame and should already be in there. We'll get to those guys here in just a moment, too. So, Cheese, what I want to, I see you chewing, so I'm not going to ask you a ton of stuff right at the moment, but I will ask you this so that we can set this up for everybody. how many stop it? How many how many players can get into the Hall of Fame per season? Is there a limit? So how does that work as far as how many get to go in, or is it a percentage? How does that work?
I thought it was 6, but let me double check.
Okay. I'm sorry. Now I'm making you talk and type and eat. So Carolina Panthers there on a 2nd and 7, hand the ball off and do not get back to the line of scrimmage. Or
it's
close.
Between 4 and 9. Okay. Anywhere between 4 and 9. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay.
So of these guys on the screen, you got Ben, you got Adrian, you got Rob, you got Cam, you got Richard. For me personally, I don't think Cam Newton should be in this conversation. I will say Rob Gronkowski, one of the best tight ends in the NFL at the time in which he was in there. I have to say Ben is, as much as I don't like him because I'm a Bengals guy and he plays for those nasty Steelers, I will give him the credit that he deserves and say that he was one of the best quarterbacks of his era. Same thing with Adrian Peterson, one of the better running backs of his era. And as much as I don't necessarily like Sherman off the field, he was pretty good on the field. So can you agree with me? Stop. Can you agree with me, Cheese, that Big Ben, Adrian Peterson, Rob Gronkowski, at least those 3 on this list are surefire Hall of Famers? Can we go that far?
I think Ben and Rob Gronkowski, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you're saying maybe on Peterson?
Here's the problem with Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
He's a terrible receiver, and he refused to pick up the blitz. He was terrible in 2/3 of the aspects of a running back, but he was amazing at running the ball. I do think he'll get in. I think he's a little overrated. He didn't want to catch the ball, and he had no interest in picking up a blitz. He's just one of those players that's like, he was so good at running the ball that he was protected by the media and by a lot of people at all his flaws. He even refused. There were games where he was with the Vikings, they were getting pissed because he wasn't running the route because he didn't think he should have to. He did not want to run routes. He did not want to receive it. He just wanted to run the ball. I do think he'll get in, but I would not vote for him, to be honest with you. I'd at least make him wait a year.
All right.
Belichick did.
So, take a bite there of what else you're doing, and then
Chicken.
That's okay. And then talk to me about Richard Sherman whenever you're done chewing. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel the same way about Richard Sherman that you do about Adrian Peterson. I don't know if he's what I would call a surefire Hall of Famer. King is 12 for 18 with 110 yards, by the way. Hands off to his running back, Titus the third there, and he gets 2 or 3 yards on the outside before he gets knocked out of bounds. What do you think about Richard Sherman?
So one of my criteria is do they play 8 to 10 years? And they were at least very good in those 8-10 years, but then 3 or 4 years they were elite, and that checks the box for Richard Sherman. Okay. So he checks that box. So yeah, I think he is. I just absolutely despise him. I don't like him on TV. I didn't like him as a player. I just don't like him at all. I hate to admit it, but I think it's possible he might have to wait a year or two because of that, because he's unlikable. Because of his attitude, because he just called out teams and teammates and coaches. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But certainly my criteria, he would make it.
So then you're kind of describing Luke Kuechly, right? So, Luke Kuechly was dominant, but he was only in the league for 8 years, 118 games. You just said 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a hard time putting Luke Kuechly into the Hall of Fame because it was only 8 years and only 118 games. I think there's a lot of other people who had a lot longer streaks in the NFL to where they were, I don't want to say they were better than he was, because Luke Kuechly was dominant for some of those years. I'll have more of his stats in a moment. But just looking at, and we're looking at comparisons here, Beck's 15 for 19 while King is 13 for 19. King 118 yards, Beck 188 yards. So while all of that stuff is going on, why is Luke Kuechly a Hall of Famer only playing 8 years in the NFL? Because that's a big knock on him for me.
It's very simple. Because he was the best linebacker in the league when he was drafted, and when he retired, he was the best linebacker in the league. He can do everything. He's probably the best coverage linebacker I have ever seen. And he was a great blitzer and great stuff in the run. What?
We're not talking about college at this point. We're asking why he's in the NFL. So college has nothing to do with this, right?
No, not college. When he came in the NFL, when he was drafted, to when he retired, he was the best linebacker in the NFL for 8 straight years. I said coverage, not college. Coverage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Maybe it was the Keys chicken that got me there.
Yeah. He's the best coverage linebacker I have ever seen. And I've been watching football for over 30 years. And he is also very good at stopping the run and blitz. He's amazing. Like the range he covered when he dropped in coverage, he was the best linebacker, one of the best linebackers I have ever seen play. That's why, because he was so good. It's like Sterling Sharp. It took him forever, but he finally made it. He should have made it long before. He only played 7 years because of neck injury. But those 7 years, he was one of the best receivers in the NFL. Like, there were some years where he was number 2 to Jerry Rice, like 3 or 4 years in the NFL. So he should be in. But yeah, Luke Kuechly was amazing. He was so good.
So let me give you a few Luke Kuechly stats, right? If I'm going to say that I'm kind of wondering about him, let's look at these stats and let's compare everything. So in his career, he had 75 tackles for loss. He had 1,090 total tackles, 18 interceptions, and 7 forced fumbles. This is one of the big things for him, Cheese. I'm not looking at you, so, eat what you want to do, and I'll come back to you in just a second. He came in the league, and he started immediately, as you just mentioned. And when he did so, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, and the next year he was the Defensive Player of the Year. He then went on for a dominant stretch of 7-year Pro Bowl run selections, and he was named either first or second team All-Pro for all of those 7 years as well. So he had a dominant 7 years. Can we say yes? Those 7 years were dominant?
Absolutely. Like I said, he was the best linebacker in the league for all those years, I think. That's my opinion. He's good at every phase.
Okay. And I see the comment over here. We'll get to Justin Herbert in a second. Let me finish what we're doing right now. Then we'll talk about some quarterback play here in a second. I'm not going to ignore you. Appreciate the comment. So in the stretch of 2012 to 2019, this is a really good stat, by the way. You know how much I love these stats and stuff. So here's one for everybody.
I've ever met in my life.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but anyway.
Oh, some of the baseball stats, like you just send me. It's crazy. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I try to get the stats from pretty much everything because in my opinion, numbers don't lie. So when I look at it through that lens, I have to get these stats. In the stretch, Cheese, of 2012 to 2019, only 4 players came within 300 tackles of his total tackles in that span. So not only was he good, he was 300 plus more tackles good.
Yeah, he was that good.
Yes, he was.
And you notice the first thing I said was he was the best coverage linebacker. I didn't even talk about his tackling, his run stopping. That was my first thing was like how his range and coverage. Mm-hmm. He could blitz too. He might be the best linebacker. I'm going to say it. He might be the best linebacker I've ever seen. He might be better than Patrick Queen. He might be better than Derek Brooks. That's how good he was. He just could do everything.
So they run this bootleg again, Cheese. I'm going back and forth between looking here, looking up there. How many times are the Arizona Cardinals going to miss this play? I mean, they've done
it a lot. They have. It's a first preseason game. A lot of these guys are rookies or second-year players. And they just did it. They just did it again.
That's a coaching
thing.
Again.
Me, just right? Watch this play. Anthony Tyus gets the TD.
Okay.
Whenever they show you on screen,
there it is again.
Not a good. Yeah. We're seeing a lot of teams do this, but it's hard. I mean, a lot of these guys are just, we take this guy out, put that guy in. They haven't all played together like veteran teams. So. But we're seeing that. How many times the Panthers done this game successfully? A lot.
A lot, like way too many. This will be the thing that I will take away. Well, I have two takeaways so far from this game. Obviously, the quarterback play from both quarterbacks, actually, from King and from Beck, and this we have got to cover. Okay. So the Arizona Cardinals. I shouldn't say we. I'm not on the field. I can't stand it when people do that, like they're part of the team. The Arizona Cardinals need to figure out how to cover that bootleg, or they're just going to, I mean, they've run that play 8 or 10 times, and they have yet to even come close to covering it. 2 of them for touchdowns.
Once again, it's a lot of backups. It's a lot of guys that haven't really played together much. I'm not too worried about it. And sometimes it's really good just to get destroyed in the preseason by some stuff, because you watch the film and like, okay, this is what they did. This is how they beat us. So I would not be too worried. I would not be happy if I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan, no doubt about it, because they keep doing it over and over. But it just looked like, I don't know if you saw the replay, it looked like there was an Arizona Cardinal defender, I think it was the 31. He was pointing, he was kind of screaming at one guy like, you have this. Looked like there was some confusion there, but you're going to have some confusion. You're going to have missed assignments in the first preseason game. Usually you will.
So how much of that is coach and how much of that is player?
Probably both. It's probably pretty close down the middle. But you also, if you're a coach, you can't predict exactly what they're going to do. But at the same time, they've been doing it all game. So it's got to be on both.
Okay. Go back to Luke Kuechly here for a moment. He retired because of multiple concussions, Cheese.
Yep.
Let's see. Where are you at in Eaton here? I don't know. Just tell me where you're at.
I just finished.
Okay. I just didn't want to keep asking you a bunch of questions and getting your food cold on you here. So he retired because of multiple concussions. Did Kuechly sacrifice his well-being to be a dominant linebacker, Cheese?
We'll never know. Well, I mean, we'll know later. Actually, we won't never know. There are players that have had a lot of health issues later in life, with all the concussions. A lot of people are worried about Tua Tagovailoa, all his concussions. And there have been players that have taken their life because of issues like that.
Yeah. Very sad things that have happened. Yes.
Very sad. And I understand why he quit. I at the time I was working with a Panther fan, and he was devastated, absolutely devastated. But I understand. Good for him. He still made the Hall, but
he had to wait a year.
Some people, yeah, he did. Is it worth it though? Like that's a question. That's for another day. But it could cause problems later in life. But he made the decision. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I made my money. I'm gonna walk away. I care about other things more. And good for him.
Yeah, it was good for him. I mean, it really was. And
he's not the only one to do that too.
No, he's not. He's not.
Calvin Johnson, Andrew Luck, or some other people. I don't know if there's necessarily concussions, but they decided they didn't want to do it anymore. And fine. You know, I loved when Calvin Johnson retired.
Well, I think there's something to be said about retiring on top, right? And I also think there's something to be said about sticking around way too long.
Yeah, Jerry Rice. I mean, yeah, he played for the Seahawks at one point late in his career. Most people don't remember that.
Yeah. Hanging on. Not that he's not a
just loved
great
football
player. I'm not trying to say
He
that.
just loved football so much he didn't want to. He was going to stop until teams stopped calling. Yep.
Okay, I understand that, but your body is getting beat up. And what are you sacrificing later on in life because of it? That's kind of where I'm going with this question. So,
and some NFL former players are really suffering later in life, physical or mental issues. But Don Majkowski is the best example. He was the quarterback before Green Bay. He's had so many, you can look him up, so many surgeries, so many issues with it. But he still says, he was like starter for 3 years in the NFL. He said, I don't regret a thing. I would not change anything, because he loved football that much.
Well, that's a personal decision, right?
Yep.
All right. So Carolina finished the 2013 season second in the NFL in both points allowed.
Make sure you watch this play.
Okay, total points and points allowed. So, all right, hang on. I'll look up and watch this play here. Carson Beck back, throws the ball over the middle. Looked like the defender fell down, but nice ball placement. We've said that 4 or 5 times. That's to Wallace III. But, yeah, he put that ball exactly where it needed to be.
Harrison. That's your boy.
That's my boy. Anyway,
Boy.
so both in points and points allowed, they finished the season 12-4, and they made the playoffs. So when Luke Kuechly came into the Carolina Panthers, was he that guy who was the difference maker and allowed them to go to the next level? One guy did that, Cheese?
Well, he certainly helped. I mean, he certainly changed their defense. The problem is the position. Off-ball linebacker is just not going to be as impactful as some other positions. But he certainly changed that defense. And like I said, the middle of the field was covered. If he dropped in coverage, the middle of the field was covered. No problem. So by Julio Jones. Okay. Luke Kuechly's a 250-pound linebacker. Julio Jones is a wide receiver. I'd love to give me a specific game. I'll go back and watch it. But sure, I mean, he's a wide receiver. I'm sure that Luke Kuechly couldn't cover Puka Nacua right now. But running backs and tight ends, he could cover him no problem. And he had the middle of the field. He could drop in coverage. He had the lateral agility to move. Julio Jones gave a lot of people a lot of trouble.
And probably will be a Hall of Famer as well. So
kind of fell off toward the end of his career, but yeah, probably. What about AJ Green?
What about
Green
AJ?
deserved to be?
The receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals
And Arizona Cardinals.
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. We'll get to that before the game is over, hopefully.
I agree. Top three all time. I think he's one of the best three I've seen for sure.
Yeah. So you agree with that statement from Guxagoo?
I didn't watch Dick Butkus and Ray Nitschke, but like for what I've seen since I've been watching football, he is definitely top three and maybe number one. That's how good Luke Kuechly was.
So according to Pro Football Reference, Kuechly is the only player to have more than 22 combined tackles in a single game. Really good stat for him as well. And I wanted to mention his postseason, and this will be the last thing. We'll go off of Luke Kuechly here for a moment. As far as his postseason, he was in 7 postseason games. He had 61 tackles, 4 of them for loss. He had 3 interceptions, and 2 of them he ran back for touchdowns. He had 2 sacks and a fumble recovery. I mean, geez, that's some linebackers like whole season, right?
He was so good. Yep, he's a beast.
And he did it in 7 games in the postseason. I thought that was a pretty good stat there.
And if he played for a team that was just perennial playoff team, he would have played a lot more than 7 games. Yeah.
Oh, talk to me about that throw. Is he leading his wide receiver too much there?
Great. Oh, I missed it.
That's okay.
I'll be honest, I wasn't looking.
Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to do both here. Looking at different things because this game, honestly, gentlemen and ladies, this game is better than I thought it was going to be. I've got a lot of stuff over here that I've got ready, and I keep thinking to myself, we're not going to get to everything. I've got to hurry up and get to all these stats and stuff that I've got. I did a lot of research for this, thinking that this game was not going to be good.
I got to say something, Mike.
It's pretty good.
4th and 2, down 4 in the 4th quarter. Why are you kicking a field goal? What are you doing?
And he's going to miss it.
You complain about kicking field goals. That 4th and 2, down 4 in a preseason game. Run some play. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
He made it. Didn't look like he made it, but I guess he did.
No, I didn't think so. I just called it saying he missed it.
The score says it does on the screen. But what are you doing? 4th and 2. You can even run the ball. Like, what? 4th and 2, you have so many options. That's ridiculous.
I just give the ball to. So, that is one of those things where you give the ball to your young quarterback and say, go get us a first down. You don't have to say go win us a game, but you do have to say go get us a first down.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a lot of different things that we still need to get to here. I would like to. I'll tell you what. Let's do players that we think should be in the Hall of Fame as we're talking about these guys here. Okay. So I'll take the first one, and I'll have you take some after me here. I got to start with this guy, 1991 NFL MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Great efficiency and completion records for absolute decades in Cincinnati and did get to go to a Super Bowl. Yet Ken Anderson can't sniff the base or the Football Hall of Fame. That's, to me, that's insane. Ken Anderson he should have been put in there a long, long time ago. But before we get off of Luke Kuechly, I did not see this. Let me get back to it. Would you agree with that? Ray Lewis is number one.
I wouldn't put him number one.
See, I'm not going to put him number one.
No, Ray Lewis was very good. Don't get me wrong. He was very good. There's no he was so good at getting off blocks, making tackles. He was underrated in coverage. I would put Kuechly ahead of Ray Lewis slightly. Ray Lewis was very good though.
I can't think of Ray Lewis without thinking of his off the field stuff. So I believe that is part of the clause to get into the Hall of Fame, and that's why I wouldn't put him up there at number one. I'm not even sure if I put him in the top three, to be honest with you.
Well, no, but I mean, just to play on the field. Top
it's
linebackers
more than
I've ever
on the
seen.
field, Chief. Stop that.
I got Derek Brooks and Patrick Queen. No one talks about Patrick Queen for the 49ers, how good he was. He was unbelievable. I would put Ray Lewis in the top 5 linebackers I've seen for sure. I would not put him one.
I'm not putting. I mean, again, for me, it's all the off the field stuff.
I'm just talking play on the field, though.
I'm not separating the two.
I'm talking play on the field.
Okay. I know you are.
Yeah.
And we'll ask, especially. We have a new comment here. Let's get this. Most tackles of all time. Ray Lewis is not close. It's not close. So he had the most tackles of all time. Okay, but wasn't he in? He was in the league for a whole lot more years than what like a Luke Kuechly was. So
I don't think number of tackles is necessarily the best stat for the best linebacker. It's impressive, but if you go back and look at the tackle leader every year, sometimes you're just on a bad team that's behind, so the other team runs the ball a lot, and you get a lot of tackles because you're the middle linebacker. So no, it is impressive. His longevity. Look, like I said, he's one of the best 5 linebackers I've ever seen. I just don't. I wouldn't put him first. I don't think he's better than Kuechly, to be honest.
Okay. I just don't like him as a person, so I don't want to.
You really don't? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, and now all of a sudden he's found religion, and okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, that's good. That's a good thing, though.
If it's genuine, it's good.
If it's genuine, it's good. Yes.
Not sure if it's genuine, but if it's genuine, it's good. Yes. Don't be hypocritical. I think the biggest thing for me is to do that. It's the Ryan Braun thing. It's, everybody's mad at me for blaming that UPS guy when I said that was his fault because I tested positive. Oh, okay. Well, now I'll apologize for it. No, that's not a genuine apology. You're just doing it because everybody says you should.
There's a special place in hell for someone like Ryan Braun, someone innocent trying to ruin his life. I think I hate Ryan Braun more than any athlete ever. I could talk about how much I despise Ryan Braun and what he did. He's a cheater and got caught and instead tried to ruin other people's lives. Narcissistic piece of what. I despise him with every fire. And when the Brewers were never my least favorite baseball team, they weren't. I always would, not a fan of them. But when they let him back on the team and just pretend it didn't exist, they became my least favorite team, and they still are.
I did see also, we'll do one more little baseball nugget, then we'll jump back into the football here. But I did see our favorite guy from the Pittsburgh Pirates got released a couple of days ago.
I can't believe they signed him and paid him. We trashed it at the time, both of us. Remember that? We thought it was so dumb. You hated it even more than I did.
Yes.
But no, I mean, Ray Lewis was an amazing player. He really was. I just wouldn't put him number one. But.
Okay. Ray Lewis, amazing.
Super Bowl MVP. Amazing. Gotta give him credit. He was a Super Bowl MVP. He was amazing. But give me Luke Kuechly over it. Okay.
So give me a person from your perspective, Cheese, who should be in the Hall of Fame and is not. I gave you one, Ken Anderson. Give me one of yours.
I'm going to go with someone whose last name is also Anderson and also played for the Bengals. How is Willie Anderson not in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay. So my criteria, once again, you play 8 to 10 years. You're very good for all those years. And 3 or 4 years, you're dominant.
Okay.
That I just described Willie Anderson, right tackle. He was in his 30s being all pro. Into his 30s, he was all pro. He was amazing. That's just like it was assumed back then, like 20 years ago, like he was like one of the best right tackles, or if not the best in the game. Talked about. Everyone just assumed it was talked about. Oh yeah, you broadcast. Oh, best right tackle in the game, and there's maybe because he only stopped playing at 33, maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly why he retired, but he was so good, and he's not in. And I assumed he was in when I did research for this. I assumed he was in, and he wasn't. So explain to me why he's not in, Mike, because I don't know.
I can't. I can't explain to you why he's not in. What you just said, 100% of what's going on there. I mean, I like your criteria. You have to be really good for your entire career, and then you need to have a somewhere in your spot, and I would even say some consecutive years that you're really, really good.
Ooh.
Willie Anderson, really, really good.
This play. Ooh.
Oh, I'm still looking at the
Cardinals defense. You know, these guys aren't making the team, but still. Anyway, big play for the Panthers, up 1 point because Michael Flohr on 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter in a preseason game kicked the field goal. Is that Miles Davis?
Oh no, I'm just laughing because the next video you're going to make is how you hate all the LaFleurs.
I like Mike better than I like Matt. Well, he's not. I mean, he's not the defensive coordinator. Yeah, that is Miles Davis. That is Miles Davis. Utah State, just like Jordan Love. Okay.
All right, excellent. I'm glad you know all these guys' colleges for people who are probably not going to make their teams. Just shows your football acumen and knowledge, sir.
We can talk about the 2005 draft. I could probably name you like who went where to what team and what college, but let's not go there. Anyway, we were talking about, Willie Anderson should be in the Hall of Fame. One of the best right tackles of his era.
Okay.
And he's like later in his career, he's like was regarded as the best right tackle in the game, winning all pros. Come on. How is he not in? Like there's something. He played in the Carson Palmer era. There's something that the voters aren't going for, and I wish I knew why. I don't know what it is.
You know what I wonder if it is?
Yeah.
And I almost hate to say this because I'm a fan of this team. I wonder if it's because he played for the Cincinnati Bengals.
But that shouldn't have anything to do with it. It doesn't matter what team you played for.
It shouldn't. But I think there's a lot of people that have some beef against the Bengals for a bunch of different reasons, and now they're maybe holding that against them.
Well, Ken Anderson's not in either.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with a couple of receivers on my end. How about Torrey Holt and Reggie Wayne? Torrey Holt, of course, most people probably know him for the Greatest Show on Turf. Reggie Wayne was beside of Peyton Manning for the majority of his career, so maybe that gives him a little bit of an advantage. But I think both of those wide receivers need to be in the Hall of Fame. What do you think about them?
So here's why they're not. I agree with you completely. I have a different receiver in that actually on my three.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Here's why they're not, and it's because they played on really good teams.
Okay.
They were the number 2 receivers, and so many other players on that team are in the Hall of Fame. So can we let everyone on that team, that offense, in the Hall of Fame? I know it's stupid. But Isaac Bruce was the number 1 receiver. Torrey Holt. Actually, Torrey Holt late in his career, he was the number 1 receiver, right?
Yes.
Okay. Reggie Wayne. You had Marvin Harrison Jr. And there's so many Hall of Famers on both the Rams and the Colts offenses. That's why. So we're like, well, I mean, can we really give it to that guy? I agree with you, especially Torrey Holt. They should be in. Absolutely. But it's because it's Jerry Kramer had to wait forever because everyone else on the offense was in the Hall of Fame. We can't let every Green Bay Packer in the 60s make the Hall of Fame. So sometimes it's just because you played around so many good people, you have to wait. I think they'll both eventually get in.
Carolina Panthers just did what Cheese and I have said the entire time that we can't stand. 4th and 4, and they kick a field goal. Yes, they made the field goal.
Did the Cardinals a favor. Because if they go for it and go up 8, you're up 8. The best they can do is tie.
Right. I understand you're trying to make the other team score a touchdown to win because you're up 4. But, again, this is preseason. I don't think anybody cares who wins this game. It is, what are you doing player wise? What are your schemes? There's a lot more things that are much more important than who wins this game.
I'll say this: if Dave Canales and Mike LaFleur are this conservative in the preseason, imagine the regular season. Just keep that in mind, Panthers and Cardinals fans. Expect a lot of field goals. Maybe draft these kickers in fantasy.
Oh man. How about a defensive player? I don't think either one of us have talked to any defensive players. I'm going to give you one that I think should be in the Hall of Fame, and then you pick a defensive player, and then we'll jump to a different topic here. How about Terrell Suggs?
Okay.
Probably. I mean, he's a multi-time Pro Bowler, and I know that he maybe wasn't the best guy on that team because, as we talked earlier, Ray Lewis was on that same team.
Oh, Ed Reed too.
Ed Reed, yep.
Yeah.
So, because he was kind of the third guy on that team, do you think that's held him back from being in the NFL Hall of Fame?
Yes.
All right. Give me a defensive player that you think should be in the Hall of Fame. Please go ahead.
I don't have any defensive players on this list.
Oh, okay. Fine, be that way. Well, give me somebody else.
No, I'll give you a defensive player. He'll never make it, but he was on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Nick Collins, safety of the Green Bay Packers. He was unbelievable. He had a pick six in the Super Bowl in the 2010 season. His range was incredible. Played about 5 seasons. Hurt his neck. Never played again. He was on his way to a Hall of Fame career, but he'll never get in, and it's a shame. That's how good. Kuechly or Patrick Willis.
I'm gonna let you tackle this one.
Patrick Willis. What is up with these 49ers? All these linebackers. Fred Warner's a Hall of Famer too. 49ers have a lot of good linebackers. I'll take Kuechly, but Willis was amazing too. But another person on my list of receivers, Steve Smith, Carolina Panthers, who are playing the game. I don't know what this guy has to do. Once again, my criteria: 7, 8 to 10 years, whatever. You're very good. There was a stretch of 3 or 4 years in his middle of his career when he was one of the best receivers in the NFL, and he's so small. Like he was like 5'9", 180, and he still dominated. Like nobody could cover him. He had a stretch in his prime. Maybe because he likes to run his mouth. I mean, he's in the media now. I don't know, but Steve Smith should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't have his stats in front of me, but I go by the eye test. You know this. I love the eye test. That guy was uncoverable at times, so he should be in.
That was a bullet, but I don't think that's Carson Beck anymore. But that was a bullet to Virgil, right down the seam, right down the line. That was a good throw.
Okay, do you want to know why they're wearing 28 Titans?
Yeah, so do I. I was wondering the same thing. I'm
looking it up. We don't.
All right. So while you look it up, let me get to one of the other subjects I'd like to get to here.
Oh, Chris Johnson has ALS. If they're ALS awareness.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Prayers for him and his family and everything going through. ALS. We got to find a cure.
Absolutely. They're re-showing that play where does Virgil have controls what they're looking at, I'm sure.
You mentioned concussions, but ALS too, Parkinson's disease, Brett Favre has it. Muhammad Ali took hits to the head, like he got it. So yeah, you're putting yourself at risk playing the NFL.
But you know that going in.
And it doesn't matter. They love football. If you love football, you're going to keep playing.
I'm not going to say everybody loves football. Some of them love the money that the football makes for them and their families, and they.
Some of it, that's their whole life. Football has always been their whole life since they were 5 years old, and they don't know how to do anything else, so they keep doing it.
Okay. But I also know, so my job where I'm at, I figured because, Cheese will tell you I'm old. I'm sure he says it at least once or twice during every podcast, but yeah, I've only got a few more years. I work a ton of overtime right at the moment, and I've only got a few more years, I think, where my body will allow me to do it. So I'm trying to get the most money that I can so that I can prepare myself for retirement. And I think maybe that has something to do with it sometimes with these players as well.
So, like I said, I think I get what you're saying about money, but some people just love the game, and some people that's their life. Like they don't know. Football has been all their life. They train 365. It's been since they're a little kid, and that's the most important thing to them, and they don't know what to do anything else. They don't know how to be retired. So, ooh. Gooksy Goo, I hope I said that right. You were asking some really good questions. We got to give you some props here. Oh, Mike, I'll let Mike go first.
Oh man, don't do that to me.
I'll go first.
This is one of those things to where I'm a stat guy, I'm a numbers guy, so I don't have Von Miller's numbers in front of me. Using the eye test and what I know about him, especially in his early days when he first came in, he was dominant. When I watched the game, his name and his number got called a lot. So I would say that he had a long career. He was also one of those guys who probably went over his career. Should have retired a couple years before he decided to. But I don't think that necessarily big running play by the Arizona Cardinals.
I was going to make that point. That Super Bowl, Carolina Panther fans hate him. He just destroyed Cam Newton. He was unbelievable. He was in his prime. First 5-6 years of his career, he was great. But here's why I say no. He didn't keep it up. People keep signing him thinking he's going to be good again. I don't know why. He's not the player he used to be. He just wasn't good he'd be very good long enough for me. But in his prime, he was unbelievable. One of the best pass rushers in the NFL in his prime.
Okay. So I'm looking up his stats right now. Von Miller here. He began his career in 2011.
Real quick, when they had him and DeMarcus Ware, what could you do? You couldn't double team both. It was a nightmare, and they won a Super Bowl with no offense whatsoever doing that. So, got to give him props for that season.
Yeah, so he played for 14 years in the NFL.
So far, he's not retired yet.
No, not technically. Don't believe he is signed for this coming season. I'm trying to find that out real quick here.
I don't. I think he's free agent.
Yeah,
Reggie. I'm really liking this Reggie Virgil. I'm really. It's gonna make. I mentioned him a few times in one of my videos. I'm looking smarter.
Oh, look at that movie just put on.
Yep.
Now, I have to say this. And I know I'm the old man in the room, but there is not a person on this field that should be celebrating after anything. These guys haven't done a darn thing yet. I can't stand it when they do this stuff. They're, oh, look at me. Oh, I've got 5 receptions for 66 yards. Yeah, shut up, rookie. Go to the bench. When you do something decent for a few years, let me know. Then you can celebrate.
You've been there before.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets on my nerves.
Get your first down, hand the ball back to the umpire, go back to the huddle.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about someone who is signed for next season. We talked about Von Miller, who was not a really good player. Not sure if we put him in the Hall of Fame or not. Well, that'll be. I'm gonna go with no, but very close. So that might be why he's not retired yet. Maybe he thinks he can come back for another season or two, and that's what he has to do to make the NFL Hall of Fame. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it hurts his legacy? He's just not the player he is anymore. Maybe people will remember the player that's just he hung on too long and he's not that good anymore. It might hurt him.
I would agree with you. I think it does hurt him, at least for me. When our criteria is at least 10. Well, for me, I would say 10 years is my criteria, and that's why I kind of went. I don't know about Luke Kuechly, but when you hang on for 14, 15, 16 years, it diminishes those really good years, I think.
Yeah, I'm more 7-8 years than 8. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but football is a tough game. First and goal, by the way, for the Cardinals. About 3 minutes ago, down 4.
This is really interesting. This is a good game. I mean, I'm trying to get all of our other stats and stuff that we prepared. I want to talk about Stephon Diggs before we go off the air. That'll be the next thing we talk about.
They called timeout. Perfect time. Let's go.
Okay, so Stephon Diggs, the guy who is going to be signed for next season, went to the Washington Commanders, a 1-year, $12 million deal. Cheese first. Is that price tag worth having Stephon Diggs?
The way you phrased that question, I was expecting a different question. I think, they need another receiver. And for his production, that's probably a pretty good value. Is it worth it? I don't know. He has been traded a couple times. We're talking about one of the most productive receivers in the last decade in the NFL. He almost always produces, and he keeps getting traded. So clearly teams want him out of the locker room. But Washington need a receiver, and I think it's a good fit, and I think it's a huge need. So it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, so I don't have I can get them real quick here.
There's a poll,
I did a poll question. I forgot all about that.
I'll look it up.
You look up the poll question for us?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I voted.
Oh.
So I'm sure it's yeah.
I never vote on my own poll questions, so I think that's a little.
I don't think you're allowed to. Let me see.
So let's set it up here. So Diggs has been in the league for 11 years. Cardinals haven't scored quite yet. 7 of them producing at least 1,000 yards. 5 of the seasons he's gotten over 100 receptions. 2 of them he's got double-digit touchdowns. In fact, he only has 74 career touchdowns. But he has 0 fumbles in his career, which I thought was interesting. 0 fumbles in his career is pretty big here. So I said this is the poll question. Knowing all of that stuff, which word best describes him? Durable, exceptional, distraction, or average? So durable, exceptional, distraction, average. Cheese, what did you say when you voted?
Well, he's not average. I don't think anyone can. I don't know who voted average. He's never been average. It's possible he's average this year. I don't. Why am I having so much trouble with finding this poll? But what did I vote? I'm trying to find the poll. I can't remember what. It gives you a check mark.
It does.
I'm having trouble with my other computer. I'm having so much trouble. I'll look.
It's all right. I've got it here. So 163 people have looked at this. Again, it's
durable. I can't remember what I actually voted.
Yeah, I don't know what you voted. That doesn't tell me that. So durable, exceptional, distraction, or average. I would tell you that if I was voting on this, I would have went distraction. Because that's
what I voted for.
Okay, that's where I would put it at.
He's not exceptional. Durable for the most part, but he did get hurt this past year. I voted distraction.
All right. So average got 12.5% of the vote. Distraction was next. I can't believe distraction was 3rd out of 4. Distraction was 18.8. Exceptional got more votes than that at 25% of the votes. And then durable, 43.8% of you said durable. That's over on our X page. All gloves off SM, and you can vote on that yourselves. So, yeah, that's what the poll results were. You said you would have went with a distraction too.
I went with distraction. It was a need, but I sent you something after this. Make sure you check out NFL Memes is great. I love that X account. There's a great Cardinals thing they put out there 53 minutes ago.
Okay.
So
I'll take a look at it here in a second.
I tell you what, it's a video, so it's not like a meme or anything.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll wait until after we're done here, and then I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to tell me. 2 minutes left. The Cardinals are on the 1 yard line. It is 2nd and goal. They drop back, throw to the corner, but it looks like he was out of bounds. Green.
I think he's in.
Okay, we'll see.
That should be a touchdown. I think that should be a touchdown.
They're showing me the replay. Boom.
What do you think? You think that's a touchdown?
Ooh. So what's the rule here? Because he's sliding.
As long as he gets 2 feet down and controls the ball, it's a touchdown. I think
that's a touchdown. You're right.
Yeah, I do. That's Bryson Green.
It's really close on. It's actually his front leg that's That's closer to the side. Ooh,
Yeah,
man,
that's
that is
touchdown. Yeah,
close.
both feet clearly down. Ball secure, never hits the ground. Bryson Green touchdown. Yeah.
So is that? Why is he sliding like that though? Is that done on purpose? You think?
Well, I mean, look, he got his feet down. I think it's really good job by Bryson Green. He got his feet down. He went down, got the ball. He made sure to get the body down. That's what I tell you to do. Get every body part, a knee, 2 feet, whatever. One knee counts as 2 feet. Get everything on the ground and catch it. I think, yeah, former Wisconsin Badger, Bryson Green.
Okay, so again, that's good ball placement. We've talked about this all night long. Low and away where the defender can't break it up, where he can't intercept it, and your receiver gets it and makes a play.
Carson Beck's been amazing. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't think Beck. That's not Beck anymore.
What? Is that,
No,
that's not Beck? Did Beck not throw that? Okay. Well, he's been amazing this game. It's a preseason, not necessarily against great defense, but still he's been amazing.
That's 15.
They made a ruling. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay. So the call on the field, though, is an incomplete pass. That's the big part of this.
It was a terrible call.
Also, they overrule it, and then it is a touchdown.
It's a touchdown. They take the lead. Are you sure Carson Beck didn't throw that?
Relatively sure.
Yeah. So Bryson Green signed with the Cardinals, undrafted last year, and spent the whole year on the practice squad.
Yeah, he wears Beck wears 19. The guy that's out there right now is 12.
Okay. Yeah,
so if you give me a second, I will. Tell you who threw that pass. I'm watching to make sure they get the extra point here. 29-27 right now, pending extra point. They kick it. It's up, and it is good. So 1:55 left to go in the game, and the Cardinals take the 3-point lead at 30-27.
Hey, Ronald Acuna Jr. hit a home run that didn't bounce off a Miami Marlin outfielder. So there you go.
Oh, there we go. He didn't get the assist.
He hit 2 home runs. Technically only one, but they what?
I said he didn't get the assist from the Miami Marlins this time?
Didn't get the assist. Oh, God, the Marlins. Oh, yep. This one actually went over the fence. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm rooting for your Braves. I want them to knock the Marlins down because they're one of the teams that are in front of my all of a sudden surging Cincinnati Reds.
I would worry more about the Pirates than of the Marlins. I'm not worried about the Marlins at all if I were them.
But I want them to. So as the Reds get closer and closer and they keep climbing and climbing, that's what I'm after. You at this point, Cheese, it really doesn't matter about. Well, I mean, it does matter about the record and stuff, but you've got so many teams that you've got to climb over top of. That's the big thing right at the moment.
I work from home.
Yes.
So I had the Cubs game on, and I saw the Reds Athletics game was on. It's like the Reds. I can't imagine being a Reds fan. It's so frustrating. Like they almost blew it. I just every time I see them play, they either blow it or almost blow it. They almost blew it again today. They had a lead and they almost blew it. Like I can't imagine being a Reds fan. You might like lose all your hair. Oh. Sorry.
I already have
playing the Athletics, so they keep. No, but luckily they play in the Athletics, so they keep winning. So. Okay, I like this 2-minute drill preseason game. We don't want to see 27-6 preseason games. It's 30-27 2-minute drill. I believe Haynes King is still in there. This is what we want to see. This has been a very entertaining game, back and forth.
It really has been.
A lot of motion, a lot of play action, some deep shots, especially by the Cardinals. We like this. This is what we want. It was not. I don't. Maybe that was a throwaway. Oh, it's right. I'm ahead. I don't know what that was, but that was nowhere near. But good pressure by the Cardinals. Maybe they'll show the replay and figure out who got the pressure.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow. It's like 3 guys. Brown, Williams, and like 3 guys got the pressure.
That's good. So I want to, man, you gave him props earlier, or her. I don't know what sex this person is. Guxy Goo has put this out there. Let's discuss this question. I like it. He or she says they should make a preseason MVP at the end of the preseason.
The Ryan Leaf Award.
Well, this is interesting, though. I mean, this could. I mean, this is something for one of these guys to get an award at the end of the preseason. I don't know. I kind of like the idea. I like the concept here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take about 2 minutes. I was trying to hang on to the end of the game. I don't think I'm going to be able to here. So I'm going to take about a minute and run to the restroom myself really fast. And I'm going to let you talk about, should we have a preseason MVP? I'll be right back, buddy.
Great catch there by the Panther receiver. Got an interesting game. So here's the thing with this. I'll call it the Ryan Leaf Award. Ryan Leaf was amazing in the preseason. Former Charger draft pick. He was the pick after Peyton Manning, if you guys did not know, in the 1998 draft. He had a huge arm, big dude, pocket quarterback. He was amazing in the preseason versus backups, versus teams that didn't blitz a lot. He's one of the worst regular season quarterbacks I've ever seen. So, no, you can't do that because preseason's all about setting up your team, playing young guys, setting up for the regular season. Play calling's very simple. There are a lot of players that can succeed in preseason that will never succeed in the NFL. So no, it just doesn't make any sense to have a preseason MVP. And most years, if they do, it'll be someone that is either a terrible NFL player or maybe someone who doesn't even make their team. Because there are plenty of guys that put up stats, still don't even make the team. So that's a good question, though. I don't see it happening. The Panthers, Bears, week 1. That's a really interesting game. Week 1. They're showing the Panthers schedule on TV now. Because I don't know what to do. I don't know where the Bears and Panthers are finished. Panthers playing a much tougher schedule. Bears also first place schedule. They played a last place, way overachieved. That's a really interesting game. NFC. You got Vikings, Packers. You got Bears, Panthers, week 1. That should be fun. That was terrible, by the way, for the Panthers. Will dump off running back in the 2-minute drill. That was terrible. It's the worst thing that could happen. What the heck was that play? Cardinals week 1 at the Chargers. Probably not going to go well. Seahawks not going to go well. At 49ers. Probably not going to go well. Giants, Lions, Rams. Good thing Mike is having the bathroom. The Cardinals are probably going to be 0-6. Maybe I'll give them 1-5. Maybe they sneak a win in there. Maybe they can win in New York. Good Lord, that schedule's brutal. Braves keep whooping the Marlins. But let me see if I see any other comments. I can see some of the comments. There we go. No further ones. All right, 2nd and 14. Panthers. That really wasn't there. Well covered by 26 of the Cardinals. Who is that? Oh, Culp. Culp's been around the ball a lot today. All right, 39 seconds to go. 30-27. 3rd and 14. All right. They've been doing play action, getting all their big plays, the Panthers. It's probably not going to work. 3rd and 14. And they didn't do it. Haynes King, there he goes. He's mobile. He's still going. Oh my God. And he gets out of bounds. That's a heck of a play by Haynes King. Heck of a play. I don't know if the Cardinals were in man because it looked like their back was the ball. They didn't see him scrambling. And then he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. No, they were in zone. No, they were in man. Okay, they were in man. Okay. Heck of a play. You've been watching the whole time. He's very mobile quarterback. Went to Georgia Tech last year. Gets out of bounds. Heck of a play. Oh, Mike's back.
Yeah, I'm back with you here. Shouldn't they have a spy on this play?
Well, they're playing in man, so their back was to the ball. Why are they in man on 3rd and 14? You should be in zone and take the dink and dunks. Like, what are you doing? You give up 3, it's fine, but you can't give up 7. What are you doing? Who's calling the defense, Mike?
Somebody doesn't know what they're doing.
But smart to get out of bounds. Now it's 2nd and 10. Oh, okay. Might be a little ahead of you. But 2nd and 10, 23 seconds to go. Down 3. A field goal will tie. But you know what? I think it should be illegal in preseason to go for a field goal here. You should have to go for it.
It should be illegal? What?
Yeah, because they're not going to play overtime. It's a preseason game. They're not going to do that.
Why wouldn't you?
Because it's preseason game.
Yes, but winning is, we were talking about the bunt. And by the way, for those of you who have not, seen that, not jumped onto that controversy.
It's getting crazier.
Is it?
Watch this play.
Okay. All right. I'm going to watch.
10.
So you got King. He's back. They're on.
There's no timeouts left. You have to hurry.
So he throws the ball right on the inside of the 5-yard line there. It is caught. He did not make it out of bounds, and the clock is running down. We got 8 seconds, 7 seconds.
Tackle by Williams to keep him in bounds.
Yes.
Changes the whole thing. If he gets out of bounds, they can run 3 plays easy. Now they have probably time for 1 more play. Yep, 6 seconds. Maybe 2 if they're quick. So Williams making that tackle was huge.
And he did tackle Horn Jr. inside. Nice job. Nice job.
Jimmy Horn. By the way, J.C. Horn's his other son, who also is on the Panthers. He's the star corner. Okay, so they're going to have time for a second play because that play was quick and terrible.
Okay, well, again, you're in front of me here, so let's call this on the 4-yard line. You got King back. Yes, very uncatchable ball right there. Uncatchable ball. Takes him down to 2 seconds.
I'm not going to spoil. I'm going to let you just call it.
Okay, that's
fine. Game. 2 seconds. This is it.
All right.
Score. If they score a touchdown, they win. They don't, they lose. Very simple.
All right. So, and I like him going for it here, not being conservative, not kicking the field goal. Let's do that. So 3rd and goal, as Cheese has already set up for you. The score is 30-27. You got 2 seconds left in the game here. Clock is winding down as well. You got 14 seconds before they have to snap the ball. They're in play. King is in the shotgun with 1 running back to his right. Motion by number 40 there. He comes right back in.
Wow.
King takes off running and looks like he scores the touchdown, stretching out as he's being tackled.
You said it best. Why are they not spying this guy? What are you doing? Who's calling these defensive plays? You spy him. He can't do that. The game's over.
Yeah. So does this, because they lose the game, does that take away from the performance of Carson Beck and some other stuff?
No, it doesn't take away from Carson Beck, his evaluation, everything. It takes away from winning the first preseason game and losing it in that fashion. I mean, it's fun, for the players, but why is he able to do this? Why was he not touched till about the 1-yard line? That's ridiculous.
You and I both know. I haven't seen the replay yet because they're still showing them all celebrating.
He's definitely in.
But you and I both know that he's mobile. That means the guys on the sideline should know that he's mobile, right? Oh, yeah, he's in.
He's in. You have to know that. You have to know that he could scramble. It looked like they were just, let's react to it after the fact. No, it won't take away from Carson Beck, but Cardinals. I don't know who's calling these defensive plays. But
yeah, that's not good defense whatsoever by the Cardinals. Well, I'm sure that'll be so.
They had a lot of defensive problems in this game, but
yes, they really did. They absolutely did, and with the teams they're going to play in their own division, they can't have defensive problems. They're going to get absolutely smoked. They're going to give up 45 or 50 points a game if this keeps up. All right, so let me.
Maybe not that many, but yeah.
Well, a bunch.
A bunch, yeah.
And they're going to be out of it by the halftime, and it's going to be a terrible game for all Cardinals fans to watch because we know there's no hope in them coming back. I would say yes. Maybe yes. Dylan Gabriel.
Yes, and Dylan. Well, or Deshaun Watson, but they're all on the same team. Right now I would probably put him dead last. He's pretty bad, but what's sad is I think he might be the best.
Your helmet and you are a quarterback, you are terrible.
Well, I'll say this: he's probably the best quarterback on the team, and that's just a little bit sad.
It is. That's a lot of bit sad, to be quite honest with you, sir. All right. So, what are your? I tell you what, I'm going to get to the Stephon Diggs thing here real quick, and then I'll ask you for your takeaways from the game itself. All right. So we did the poll question. We got all that out of the way. Appreciate that. You're saying, they needed the second receiver.
Yes.
Yeah, I do understand that. But will Diggs or McLaurin be wide receiver one? So is McLaurin's probably
McLaurin.
the clear-cut favorite, right, Terry?
Oh, McLaurin's a top 20 receiver in the NFL. He's a stud. Absolutely, he's the number one.
Okay, so then will Stephon Diggs accept his role as being wide receiver two?
He has no choice.
I'm sure he does. A.J. Brown had a choice, and he cried and whined and threw a fit. And this is the thing, I can see Diggs doing the same thing, right? He's been a distraction already. This is his fourth team in 4 years. There's a reason for that, and you've already outlined that. Is he going to accept this role? Honestly, I don't think he is. And I think it's going to be more of a problem for Washington than it is a good thing for Washington when it's all said and done.
He's always been the guy. He's probably going to want at least like 1 in 1A. He's going to want probably. But he's not the best receiver on the team. And Terry McLaurin is. And McLaurin should be the guy. I don't know if it'll be a problem. Maybe it won't be. Maybe he'll accept it. A.J. Brown was different. It was the amount of times they ran the ball, the amount of times that Jalen Hurts wouldn't throw him the ball. I think that was he's like he wanted 8 targets a game minimum every game, and that's just not going to happen with Philadelphia. That was the biggest problem there.
Yes, but Philly's a run-first team. I wouldn't consider the Commanders a run-first team, right?
Definitely not. It's a pass-first team.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I don't know the team extremely well. I know you know them a whole lot more than I do. Tight end, third receiver. Is there anybody else going to take away catches from Stephon Diggs being the number 2 guy?
I love the rookie Antonio Williams from Clemson.
Okay.
3rd round pick. He is a rookie, but before he got hurt, there was talk that he could maybe be in the 1st round, top 50 pick for sure. It goes in the 70s. Slot receiver probably. If Jaden Daniels, if we'll see what happens with the new offense, but Cliff Kingsbury's gone. But if the slot receiver becomes a big part of the offense, that he could take away some targets from Stephon Diggs.
All right, so I want to make one comment here and get your take on it, and then I want to ask you what your takeaways are from this game, and then we'll kind of bid everybody adieu and thank everybody for being along with us. We certainly appreciate it. The first thing that I want to say is the Cardinals. You mentioned Cliff Kingsbury. I'm glad you did. You reminded me that I wanted to get to this. The Cardinals are paying a lot of people who aren't there anymore.
That's not good.
Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon. So how much of a bearing does that have on what you can do as a football team?
Honestly, every owner has plenty of money. It's just money, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. It's like we made a mistake here. If they're still playing Cliff Kingsbury,
yes, they are.
Then they made a huge mistake. Not a small mistake, a huge mistake. He has not gotten another head coaching job. If he was so good, if they made the mistake by firing him, then he'd have another head coaching job. So it just doesn't look good. If you're a Cardinals fan, you're like, we weren't good last year, and we're still playing these people. Like, who's running this thing? What's going on? And why are we in this situation?
Yeah, I'm looking up right at the moment after I smack the microphone. So they're paying Kyler Murray, they're paying Cliff Kingsbury, they're paying Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
No.
They owe Cliff Kingsbury $7.5 million.
Oops.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a good college coach, but like, why? I don't know why. I don't know why that. It was a weird hire at the time. Maybe he's a good fit for Kyler Murray's style, but it still was a weird. It was just a weird hire. I never understood it. Young guy, for every Jimmy Johnson, there's 30 guys, the college coaches, that would be terrible in the NFL. Just didn't make any sense.
So he is, of course, the offensive coordinator at the Washington Commanders right at the moment. The Washington Commanders pay him $6 million this year, and the Arizona Cardinals will pay him $7.5 million this year.
Okay, I could have sworn. I could have sworn he left. Okay. No, he
No,
did.
not
He
yet.
did. David Blau is now the offensive coordinator. He left.
Is he?
I think he's with the Rams as like some kind of consultant or passing game coordinator or something like that. Yeah. David Blau was the new. Yeah, it just didn't. There was a philosophy difference. He and Dan Quinn, they wanted to change.
Yeah, but
And there was also a rumor that he wanted Caleb Williams and not Jane Daniels before the draft. Now they couldn't get him because Caleb went first, and he coached Caleb at USC. There was that rumor. It's just kind of a mess there.
But I guess what I'm so let me ask you this then before we again we're going to go back to this game here in just a second. We'll wrap everything up as we keep, believe it or not, we keep adding people to our stream right at the moment, and we thank you guys very much. We're well up over 50 now, so thank you guys for being with us live. Shouldn't you go out and hire an established coach instead of having to hire all of these? This is the new guy, and this guy is gonna send us to the promised land. So they've done it with Kingsbury. They did it with Gannon. Now they're doing it with LaFleur. Why don't you just hire an established coach and be done?
So you wanted Matt Nagy?
No, I don't want Matt Nagy, but I mean, I want somebody with some experience. I don't necessarily like you. Didn't you learn the first 2 times? Because you've done it again. But you've hired the next new thing. Or is it just them being cheap?
But you don't. But retread coaches, a lot of times, they're bad too. Recently, in recent years, a lot of them have turned out to be pretty good. The retread coach coming back a little bit, maybe learn from your mistakes. But also, a lot of really good coaches were hot young coordinators, like Andy Reid, like Sean McVay. They were the hot young guys. So, it just depends who's out there. Like
I wanted Mike McDaniel.
I want Mike McDaniel too. I want Packers to fire Matt LaFleur now and hire Mike McDaniel. Absolutely. It just depends. It depends who's out there, and I would prefer to hire the up and coming coordinator if it was me. Someone in the 38 to 45 years old, maybe something like that. But if there's a good retread coach, then yeah, go for it. If there's Mike Vrabel's available, yeah, you go for it. Yeah, someone like that. But that's not always going to be the case. So I get what you're saying, but it's got to be the right retread coach. You don't want the wrong one.
All right, so let's do 1, 2, and 3. What's your first takeaway? What's your main takeaway from this game tonight?
The main takeaway was everyone was doing play action rollouts, especially the Panthers. That's what everyone was calling it. I think it's a simple play. You're not going to show everything. Everyone runs that kind of play. So everyone was doing that, and both defenses really struggled with it, especially the Cardinals.
Yes.
And I'll say this. I got to give Mike LaFleur some credit. Early on, it looked like it was very conservative play calling, like his brother. Then he opened it up. He took some shots, and I think Carson Beck's ball placement was outstanding.
All right. So you gave me like 4 things that you liked about the game, but that's okay. I think my first takeaway from this game might be different than a lot of other people's takeaway from this game, but I'm surprised how good this game was for game number 1, for the Hall of Fame game, for 2 teams that I don't really have big expectations for either of these 2 teams, especially not the Arizona Cardinals. This was an entertaining game. That's my first takeaway.
My second takeaway is Mike LaFleur on 4th and 2 at the 17 kicked a field goal and then just lost the game.
Yes.
By 3. So just saying that.
Well, I would say that the play calling is going to be a little further down for me. The defense, the Arizona Cardinals defense, has to be better. And when they keep running the same play, that bootleg play, when they run the same play over and over and over and over again, shouldn't somebody sit down with them on the sidelines and be like, look, we look stupid. This guy is your guy and this guy is your guy. And I mean, that's coaching to me more than it is player.
If 7 or 8 guys bite on the running play, how many times does 7 or 8 guys make the tackle? You can't all bite on the running play. You got to stay disciplined. So, especially the defensive backs, like, what are the chances you actually make the tackle? So, yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of these guys, especially in the second half, aren't going to make the team. But it looks like meet the new boss, same as the old boss when it comes to Arizona Cardinals defense.
One of the things that new coach Mike LaFleur said that he was going to make sure that he did was everything was going to run smooth. Like clock management was going to be there, decision making was going to be there. That's something that he said, hey, I can control, I can make sure everything runs good, and I'm going to do that. Overall, Cheese, besides, I'm going to criticize it until they play another game. That field goal was a terrible call. Do you think that everything seemed to flow? Did you have a problem with any of the other play calls? Did we get time management issues or anything like that?
I don't think Arizona Cardinals were ever in a situation where there could be a time management issue. I think the Panthers were the ones had the ball late in both halves. So I didn't see any of that. Time management issues. That's his brother is just okay. I'm not going to get there. It's terrible at that. But no, I like the play calling. I like he started opening up in the second quarter. That's what we want to see. How's Carson Beck's arm? How accurate he's downfield? Look pretty good. So, no, I think he handled it well, and I think you have to be encouraged if you're a Cardinal fan about Carson Beck. You got to, at the same time, can't be like, we found our quarterback. It's preseason.
Mm-hmm.
But, just like I said, he played amazing. And even if it's against a bad opponent, he still played amazing. He didn't play bad. And that's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see he play bad. Then you start to worry.
Most teams only carry 2 quarterbacks, 1 starter, 1 backup. Do you think because of this game, both the Panthers and the Cardinals will carry 3 quarterbacks, Carson Beck being the third one for the Cardinals and King being the third back for the Panthers?
I think the Cardinals for sure will carry 3, assuming they don't maybe trade Gardner Minshew to somebody. Maybe I think that's possible if someone's desperate for a backup, maybe. But otherwise, if they'll keep all 3. The Panthers, Haynes King played really well. I'm not ready to say they'll keep 3 yet. I'm not ready to say that. He was undrafted, and he did play the second half against a lot of Arizona Cardinals defenders that are definitely not making the team the way they're playing. Yeah. So,
and he basically ran the same play over and over and over again as well. That bootleg that we talked about earlier.
And he scrambled where he had a lot of room where no one was spying him. So, probably not Panthers. Almost definitely Cardinals.
Okay. Well, Cheese, when we wrap all this up, buddy, is there anything else that you want to get to? Something else you want to discuss before we let everybody go?
No, it's just it's rare you get it down to the wire, Hall of Fame game. It's fun. I'm glad. I'm just so glad it was like that. And we see preseason games where it's 27-6 and boring, and so yeah, I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff ready, and then we didn't get to half of it because it was a really good game. So, like I said, that was my first takeaway. It was very entertaining. I hope all the other games that we do as we go through the season will be as entertaining as this one was.
Absolutely. We'll do way more watch-alongs. We'll do some we're going to probably do the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday night game. We're going to do some international games. We're going to do some baseball postseason games as well. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all of that if you are new. And so, yeah, check us out. We'll do a lot of watch-alongs, but our regular is Tuesday nights, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for plugging the show, the Lights Out Sports Podcast, as Cheese said, every Tuesday night. And then you've got Cheese's channel over there where he does a ton of stuff. What are you doing on your channel right now, buddy?
I'm doing 32 teams in 32 days. I'm going over everything could go right. All the optimism, how the team could win a lot of games, being very positive. I've been accused by quite a few people of being grumpy and negative. Yes, you have. Because I'm just honest. I like to be honest, but I'm trying to be, optimistic. So I'm doing every team. I just finished I did the AFC North first, did the NFC North, finished with the Packers today.
Okay.
And so I'm starting on the AFC East tomorrow. So Miami Dolphins is tomorrow. So believe it or not, I came up with some positivity for the Miami Dolphins. So make sure you check it out.
Wow. You had to do some big time research for that. That's whew.
That required the most research so far of all the videos. Yes.
I'm sure it did. All right. So then you're doing one video a day. Is it Monday through Friday? Is it Saturday too? What we got?
Yep. Whenever I have a chance, I recorded 2 today. I did the Packers and the Dolphins videos today. So yeah, weekends I'll probably do 3 each day. But yeah, I'm trying to record ahead of time. But it's 32 teams in 32 days. It takes me from the end of July to end of August.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate you being on the Lights Out Sports Podcast, just like you are every Tuesday. We will have some guests and stuff on here as well as we get to doing other things. So fantastic, man. I appreciate you coming on. This is our third podcast this week. I'm a little tired, man. I think my tongue might be a little tired, but yeah. We'll do
I'm not gonna go there. Just make sure you check out the DM I sent you, the NFL memes about
I will.
It's hilarious.
I will do that as soon as we're off the air, sir.
And the X account is you can check it out too. Is it at NFL memes? Yeah, at NFL memes. It said the Cardinals taking that extension back from Jacoby Brissett after getting a glimpse of Carson back. It's so funny.
Okay. Can't wait to watch it. That'll be fantastic. I'll put it up on our site. At All Gloves Off SM is our X account. All Gloves Off Sports Media, all spelled out, is our YouTube account. And by the way, at All Gloves Off is our new TikTok account. So go over and see that. We're posting some stuff up there. Trying to do as much as I can on as many social medias as possible so we get out there and we put our product pretty much everywhere. And I do want to give a shout out to Anubis Sports. They've picked up a couple of our things from our website. They are the official sports website of the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Go over and check them out. They did an article earlier about our podcast, and then the one they released today was the Tim Tawa "Should You Bunt" during a complete game play. I couldn't agree with Williams' take more, but you guys look at it, read the article, watch the podcast. He even tells you in the article exactly what hour and minute to go to watch it. And then tell us what you guys think. Should he or shouldn't he? All right, Chiefs. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of our viewers. And of course, as we close everything out, what we always say at the end of these podcasts, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. We appreciate you. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your evening.